Two of the most storied programs in the Bay Area kick off the 2006 high school football regular season. The visitors, the Manatee Hurricanes, coming off a state semifinal appearance, rely on a swarming defense and a power running attack. For the host Southeast Seminoles, look for an experienced offense led by quarterback Chris Hart to score early and often against their crosstown rival. It's the Hurricanes, it's the Seminoles, it's the Catch 47 Game of the Week. It's the opening week of the high school football season, and we are happy you are spending it with us here on the Catch 47 Game of the Week as the Manatee Hurricanes visit the Southeast Seminoles, and what a game we are going to have. Good evening, everyone. I'm Drew Felios, and alongside with me, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer Jeff Carlson. In 24 games of the past with Manatee and Southeast, Southeast has won 13, Manatee has won 11. It's been about as even as it could be. And as far as the coaches are concerned, hard to find two better coaches in the entire state. First, there's Joe Canan, 22 seasons as the head coach of Manatee. He's got 4 state championships. And, Jeff, can you get any better than Coach Canan?
No, you really can't. And, last week we had some 44 years of coaching experience. We've got even more tonight, also 6 state titles altogether. So it's going to be a fantastic matchup.
Of course, Coach Canan going to have to replace one of his big-time starters in the backfield. Chris McNear is gone. Sean Williamson is here. And there's a lot of questions about this kid, Sean Williams. Is he as good as McNear? Jeff, from what you saw in the early going, what do you think?
Well, he's a small, compact player, and I like what I see on the field so far. Last year, he played in the blue. Now he's over here playing running back. He played linebacker last year. Now he's going to play running back over here. So a good athlete, and we'll just have to see how that unfolds tonight.
There are 4 players on the Manatee roster who Coach Canan actually coached their fathers. Austin Jensen, number 44, is one of them, and he perhaps is the best player on this Manatee roster.
Talking about all-around athlete, we're going to see him all over the field. Look to see number 44 in the white, all over the field, returning kicks, running from the running back position, and also from the linebacker position.
And this is a guy on the other sideline, Coach Paul Meckley, who's in his 26th season. You remember, Coach Canan took the break of 4 years. Right. Coach Meckley kept going. What defines his legacy here at Southeast? He's coached some great athletes.
Well, we talked about it just a few minutes ago with him and Adrian McPherson, a number of guys. Chris Hart, his plays quarterback, another guy that we may say, oh, we remember when he was playing high school on down the road. He's got a lot of good athletes over on that side of the football.
And he mentioned Chris Hart, the quarterback, big as can be, and this kid is drawing comparisons to Adrian McPherson and Peter Warwick, Jeff. That's how good they say he is.
My first impression, what a wonderful athlete. The kid can really throw the ball. Coach Meckley talking about his true ability to throw the ball on the practice field as well. You're going to be excited to watch him play. Now, they did a lot of shotgun, especially in pregame, because last week they lost some athletes, tight end and running back specifically, that made them go to more shotgun. They would like to be balanced, but watch this guy, number 5, all night long.
Skilled players, the advantage goes to Southeast, but defensively, Manatee holds that edge. Although, for Southeast, the big guy is Will Maxwell. He's a defensive end, and he's all over the field.
All over the field, not super huge in size, 215 or so, but watch this guy. He will be chasing the guys in white all night long.
It's going to be a heck of a game. Manatee and Southeast. It's the Battle of Manatee County, a classic this very first game of the year, and as far as rivalries are concerned, it does not get any better. Manatee and Southeast coming up next on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
Love USF sports? Then Catch 47. Football. Catch 47. Basketball. Catch 47. Baseball. Catch 47. Soccer. Catch 47. If it's your sport, if it's your game, then it's Catch 47. Tampa Bay Sports Television. Catch 47 and Bright House Networks, the official cable partner of USF Athletics. Only on Bright House Networks.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
Most people with diabetes also have high blood pressure and cholesterol, which can cause severe heart damage. In fact, 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from heart disease or stroke.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Taking the time to tell a great story.
Go off to the Marine Corps, get some discipline, and fight for my country.
Local athletes.
I really want to make the Olympics. It'd be great to make the Olympics.
Sports journalism you can count on.
Put everything together and you realize that your dad was abusing your mom.
Anchored by the most trusted man in Tampa Bay sports television. Bay Sports with Dick Griffin will bring you sports figures and their incredible stories on and off the field.
Join me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on Catch 47, Tampa Bay's sports television.
Hello, I'm Paul Newman. Every day, thousands of sick and disabled veterans face real emergencies that government programs just can't meet. For more than 80 years, the Disabled American Veterans has been there for them. Across the country, DAV volunteers are working to build better lives for sick and disabled veterans who need assistance. Sometimes they just need a friend, but more volunteers are needed. If you want to help, contact the Disabled American Veterans. Thank you.
Just minutes away from kickoff here on the Catch 47 Game of the Week, and we join the coin toss at midfield.
Regarding unsportsmanlike conduct by players and coaches, violators will be ejected. It is strongly suggested that you remind your teammates and coaches of this policy. Additionally, this is a reminder that jury is not allowed and all jerseys must be tucked in the best you can if possible. Okay? Are we ready for football? Okay. Visitor team, red team. We're going to call you Captain White. Some things are obvious. We may just mark it off for you, but if we need your help, I'll be calling for Captain White or Captain Blue. You understand? Okay, for coin toss purposes, I have just a coin here. We're going to have to say, for this purpose, that's going to be the heads. That'll be heads. That's a Dolphins commemorative coin. That'll be tails. That's the team members. Tails. You call heads or tails? Tails. Tails. We call tails. Okay, if I drop it, we do it again. You understand? All right. Oh, wow. That is the tails. That is the tails. You won the toss. Defer. Okay. White won the toss, elected to defer. Okay, you have choice of remaining options. He wants to receive. Which goal do you want to defend? You want to defend that goal. Okay, if you turn your back to that goal, if you bring your back over here.
So, we will start this game with the Southeast Seminoles on offense. Manatee will play defense, and Manatee, you see they're deferring. I think they do that because they are so confident with this defensive group they're going to put on the field here tonight, Jeff. In fact, Coach Canan said, we got to make this a defensive game. That's how we can win this game. We can't rely on our offense with a freshman quarterback. It's got to come defensively.
That's exactly right. So he got exactly what he wanted. Go ahead and let your defense hopefully get the ball down on the opponent's 20-yard line. If you can get out of that and let him punt, give your freshman quarterback decent field position for his first possession of the game, that's exactly what you want. You don't want him to have to start on his own 15 or 20-yard line and have to march 80 yards. So that's just what Coach Canan wanted.
Southeast will wear the blue jerseys tonight, and here come the Manatee Hurricanes. The visitors, their high school, just minutes down the road, Southeast and Manatee. If you're not here tonight and you live in Manatee County, let's just say you're missing out. We're expecting a crowd of about 5,000 to 6,000 people jamming this facility here at Southeast High School, and this has really become more than a football game. It's a social event, and there's no better way to kick off the high school football season.
Just one of the things that makes Florida high school football special. It's California, Texas, and Florida that talk about the big schools, and this is one of the reasons that makes Friday Night Lights what it is.
There's the men wearing stripes tonight. Jerry Hicks, our referee, the umpire, Steve Patterson, the linesman, Rick Cecil, Terrence Skinner, David Ross, and Samuel Ford also on the crew. These guys will have their hands full because this is expected to be a very, very physical game. Manatee, of course, known for their offensive linemen and what they can do up front. That man right there, Joe Canan, really the catalyst as far as building this Manatee team to what they have become. Paul Meckley, no slouch either. Both of these guys, Jeff, started in 1981, nearly together at the same year at Crosstown Schools. We'll get into their relationship a whole lot more tonight, but like we said in the open, you just can't get much better when you talk about high school coaches.
Wow, six state championships between them. This is a fantastic contest. You said in the opening, 13 for Southeast, 11 for Manatee. What else can you say besides that? You got tons of experience on both sides. We'll see how it turns out.
So Manatee will line up to kick it away. It will be Vince Chircaro kicking it away. And for Southeast, Henry Sales will field it. Sales tries to cut it up, and he's got some room. Sales down the sideline. Nice return up to about the 40-yard line. There is a flag on the 28. So let's see what the spot is. Still nice return from a running back we're going to hear a lot about tonight. His name is Henry Sales.
The reason they play the preseason game the week before is to try to eliminate the yellow flag on the opening kickoff. Obviously it didn't work, and this is what usually happens early in the season on the special teams.
Okay, we're going to move it back on the flag.
So they will move this one back 10 yards. It will be from the spot, and there you see the Southeast quarterback, Chris Hart, and ladies and gentlemen, he is a superstar. 6'3", 187, getting better and better, starting to draw comparisons to Peter Warwick and Adrian McPherson. That's how good he is. In fact, we asked Coach Meckley before the game, is it fair to compare? And he said, yes, finally it is. It was unfair when he was a freshman, but Jeff, he has earned that right now the past few years and what he's done in the preseason.
No doubt about it, and you see him lining up to start in the shotgun. They're not going to try to do this all the time, but they should look good from here. Chris Hart is going to be great.
So here is Hart out of the shotgun from the 15, and he'll pitch it to Sales. Nice play. Here comes Sales. Daylight cuts it up to the 34-yard line. Positive yardage for the Southeast Seminoles and a first down on the opening play. The starting lineups for Southeast look like this. Backs in receivers. Sales, the running back, will get a bulk of the carries tonight with Chestnut, Waters, Spate, and Trevian Murray. Hamilton, Brown, Presendi, Galbraith, and Dennis Williams make up the offensive line for Southeast. So after the first down, Southeast takes over at their own 34, and out of the shotgun again is Chris Hart. Hart hands off. Sales again. Off to a good start. Takes a hit. May even have delivered one there up to the 44-yard line. That's 2 straight first downs for the Noles.
You have to have the right personnel to run a spread package and come out of it, but I'm a big fan of it, and they have the personnel to be able to pull this off, starting with the quarterback, Chris Hart. But when you can spread the defense out like that and you have a great running back like Sales, you can do so many things out of this, even with, as you saw, a straight run and an option, and then Chris Hart has the ability to throw 4 wides. It's very tough to defend all the way across the field, 53 yards wide.
You made a great point, Jeff. You can see they're spreading out this defense as Hart will take it again. That's going to be a pickup of about 4 yards. He's down at the 49. The Manatee defense looks like this. Across the front, Andrew Folk, Richard Cunningham, and Robert Harrell, number 64. We'll be hearing a lot of him tonight. Jamal Sanders, Austin Jensen, the second-generation player, with Ray Morris and Josh McCoy, your linebackers. Nicholas, Dawson, Miller, and Levins make up your secondary. 2nd and 5 from about the 49, and Hart again out of the shotgun. Hart looks over, got a man, first down. At the 35-yard line, it's complete. That's Charles Chestnut, the wide receiver. Actually, check that, Chris Waters, number 3 on the reception.
How fun is it for an offensive coordinator to be able to call plays like this? They open with the option, then they come back with a straight handoff, then they come back with the pass, and they also have the quarterback option, and what a beautiful way to go. These guys can do it all. It's going to be tough for Manatee tonight on defense.
There you see a key matchup tonight. Chestnut against Nicholas and Spate against Dawson. Those are 2 key matchups, 2 Southeast receivers against the Manatee secondary. And Manatee is known for great secondaries. They've had some great ones in the past. Hart looking good on this opening drive. He'll have that one batted down, though, and it'll be 2nd down for Southeast.
Great job getting your hands up, and that's what it takes. This time, Chris Hart has the ball down just a little bit, but just a quick mention of what they're trying to do on defense, what the Manatee Hurricanes are doing. They're playing 3 down linemen, and it looks like they're bringing 1 linebacker or even a secondary person. They actually tried to bring the player on the slot side that was getting the ball. Chris Hart did a great job of recognizing it, and same player knocked the ball down.
If you're a Southeast fan, you gotta love the mix of play calling and what Southeast has come out here and tried to do. They have had Manatee guessing on this opening drive as Hart will take it himself. We got a flag on the play. He's going to be cut down anyway, Nice stop there by number 31, Davidson Nicholas, coming up to stick Hart. But let's check the flag. This could go back even more. Looks like we're going to have a hold.
Watch Josh McCoy come up here and divert Chris Hart right there. Made him slow down, and then all of a sudden they have good pursuit. That's the way a good linebacker does it.
Foul, second down.
So it's going to be a hold, and it will still be second down, but now you got about 20 yards to go for a first down. So Southeast going back after positive yardage on the first 4 plays. Here's Hart. You see the Manatee defense at least attempting, faking blitz. Then here they come. Hart under pressure. Oh, man, he was really under pressure that time. Josh McCoy, the linebacker, senior, number 54, on the pressure.
Great call on the defense. They, like I had mentioned, they were going 3 down linemen and bringing 1 linebacker. This time they brought 3 extras, so they brought 6 at Chris Hart on 2nd and long, which where you would say, let's just lay back and give him a few yards. This time they come right at him. Great job again. We already mentioned Josh McCoy's name.
McCoy along with Jamal Sanders applying the pressure on that play. And right now it's 3rd down and a mile for Southeast. They'll line up with 4 wide receivers, and Sales is on Hart's left. Again, Manatee showing blitz. Here it comes, Hart under pressure, and he's going to go down again at midfield. Good pressure that time. It was number 64 from Manatee, Robert Harrell, and Coach Canan talked a lot about Harrell. Colleges are starting to look at this kid, and you see why on that play.
Credit Manatee for bending and not breaking, and ended up with the penalty. It caused them to get in 3rd and long. Chris Hart missed Chestnut running down the right side. In that cover 2 type defense, the middle of the field and the 2 sidelines are the position. And Chestnut, Charles Chestnut, was wide open going down the right sideline, but you got to give Manatee the credit for getting the pressure up in Chris Hart's face.
So Hart will now punt it away. He's standing back at his 36. Let's see him, what kind of kick he can get away. It's a good kick. It's going to be fielded, then fumbled. And down at the 25-yard line is Edgar Thyler, number 8. There's a flag down on the play. Could be either a hold or maybe a face mask.
The preliminary indication, Drew, is that it is a face mask.
Breon Carnes is just a freshman. And what an experience for this kid tonight. He comes out on maybe the biggest rivalry game of the year, very first game. Just a freshman. He doesn't look like one, but his physical skills, Coach Canan raved about. He can throw the ball 65 yards. He runs tremendously fast. Just the experience factor, Jeff, you got to worry about tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, this is such a great rivalry that's been going on for years, but if you listen to the coaches, Coach Canan on Manatee says, hey, we just want to limit mistakes. On the other side, Coach Meckley says, let's just get out of this healthy. So it's a different perspective, but Breon Carnes has got to play smart.
So Breon Carnes on the first play of the game, and it's going to be a false start. Had about 3 guys move that time on the Manatee side. The offense for Manatee looks like this. Breon Carnes, of course, the quarterback, Rails, Williams, Eric Williams, and Edgar Thyler, a receiver, number 8. He really shined in the Catch 47 game of the week last year when they took on the Kathleen Red Devils. Hodges, Garrett Fody, Wickersham, and Geldmaker along the offensive line for the Hurricanes. You see the size right there. Big number 79 for Manatee. These kids, especially guys like Sam Geldmaker, look like college players out there. Geldmaker, 6'6", 315 pounds. Carnes will hand it off. Not much going. A host of blue shirts all over it. The Southeast defense, they are fast, maybe a little bit undersized, but they will run both ways tonight. Sebastiani Duval, Sidney Lowe, Will Maxwell. Number 88 will be calling his name a lot tonight with Caleb Russell, Anud, and Marino, the linebackers. The secondary, Presume, James Griffin, and Chris Bowden, number 31, is the safety. So second down, and after about a 1-yard loss on that play, it's about 2nd and 11. Here comes Carnes, nice pitch. 43 banging it inside for Manatee. That's Nick Rail. He's a senior running back, 5'11", 213. Nick Rail, the first carry for positive yards for Manatee.
Well, and that's a pass completion for Breon Carnes, and it's a great way to get him started as a freshman. Give him something that's not hard to throw, hard to read, just make the play. That gives him a pass completion on the early in the game, I could say, and gives him some confidence as he goes forward.
Breon Carnes, what an experience tonight in your very first game to play in front of this kind of crowd and in this kind of environment. Carnes back to throw. You're looking for the screen, and he's got a man, Sean Williams. Williams close to a first down. It's going to be a few yards short, stopped at about the 38-yard line, so it'll be 4th down and 2, and Manatee's going to come out and punt. Good idea, though.
Well, of course, I'd like to get a first down out of that. But as I mentioned just on the play before, you're protecting your freshman quarterback. Let him throw the screen. Don't take a lot of chance. Don't throw it down into coverage and then have a turnover on your own side of their football. Kick it away. Let your tough defense do what it did last time, and then you'll build momentum from there.
So Manatee back to punt. They will kick it away. Chicaro, and Southeast will let it bounce, and it'll take a Manatee bounce. And down at the 11-yard line, that's where Southeast will take over. Nice punt that time from Vince Chicaro. Doesn't look like a punter, but he'll handle most of the duties tonight. And that time got a good one away.
And also on the other side of the ball for Southeast, I really like the idea of having Hart, the quarterback, be the punter. I'm definitely a proponent of having your quarterback be a punter inside of the 50-yard line. If he's not the best kicker in the world, that's fine. Anytime you're past the 50-yard line, you have your quarterback be your punter so that you can run different special plays. You can go 4th and 2 and end up running a special play out of it. And it's not a high-risk play, but it is a high-reward play. And if your punter messes it up, your quarterback, you're still down probably inside the 20 just because he kicks a ball off the side of his foot. It's not a big deal.
Interesting stuff. We have a water break here. It's at the 5:34 mark as the two teams will take a quick breather. It was very hot during the pregame. As the sun has gone down, we've gotten a little bit of a breeze up here. But I'll tell you what, Jeff, running around on that field at 6:30 tonight, it was definitely toasting out there.
Humidity has kicked up in the last couple days as well.
There's Chris Hart from his own 15-yard line. We'll hand off to Sales, and Sales, another nice gain for Southeast. He's got about 4 yards. Stopped at the 21. That's where they'll mark the ball.
That was the first time that Hart went under center, and this is what Coach Meckley said he wanted to do a combination of. But Manatee did a good job. They have to be able to make sure tackles. They cannot miss tackles and let Sales get through into the secondary tonight. They have to stop them on short gains like that.
54 for Manatee. Josh McCoy. We'll be calling his name a lot tonight. As Chris Hart just keeps getting better and better. A major Division I prospect, following in the footsteps of so many other great athletes that have played this position for the Noles in the past. We got a fumble. Ball's on the floor. And let's see who comes up with it. Southeast may have gotten it back.
Yes, they did.
And they did. And they are lucky. Chris Waters jumped on it that time.
Dodged a bullet. That thing came flying out into the secondary, and it was so fast they couldn't get it.
See, did they try and run with it here? No, they did try and fall on it. Just a hot potato down there. Good heads-up play by number 3, Chris Waters, jumping on that ball. And it's actually going to turn out to be a positive play for Southeast, Jeff. They've only got about a yard to go for the first down.
The football does bounce in funny ways. It looks like they're giving them a first down for it.
You're right, that is a first down. And here comes Hart. He'll give to Sales. Again, he gets another chance. Look out. Sales. Great hard running by Mr. Sales, number 20. And he is inside Manatee territory down at the 45.
It looks like we're going to be calling number 20's name and number all night long, and on special plays, that is. like I said a couple plays ago, Manatee really has to take advantage of the first contact. They're not going to be able to miss tackles over and over and without paying the price on the scoreboard.
Well, Coach Meckley said before the game that Henry Sales is one of the most talented running backs he has ever coached, and we have seen why in this pregame. Sales off to a big start. It's Hart with a first down at the 45. Will look to throw. Open man at the 38, and that's where he's going to be stopped.
You're right. He was stopped. He wasn't tackled. Interesting. Okay, I give up.
Thought the whistle came a little early that time. Justin Johnson on the catch.
Good setup, like where he keeps the ball. Great protection, obviously, and then nice catch. But watch this. Okay, he stopped. Blow the whistle. He's done.
Maybe his knee was down, I think. Maybe
no, it was not.
That. No,
way.
Really. There's the numbers on Sales. 3 rushes, 43 yards, almost 15 yards a pop. So Sales off to the fast start. And you got to like the way Southeast has been able to spread out this Manatee defense. Hart will take it himself. A few yards before, about 3 guys in white shirts stop him. And they're going to call it down at the 35-yard line.
I don't know if we can get a wide shot of that last setup as they went out, but they put Sales out, far out, so it was really a 4 wide receiver set on the right-hand side. And if I'm the coordinator for Southeast, I go right back to that because Manatee did not adjust with enough players. So if the receivers can block the man on, there will be a guy free for Southeast to take off with the ball.
A lot of Southeast people were maybe a little bit concerned. Farron Horns, the great receiver, moved on. He's at Southern Miss. But Sales has shown that he can make up for it tonight. Fumble on the exchange. Hart picks it up and tries to make something of it. He's stopped by number 21, Nate Dawson, down at the 35-yard line. So another near disaster play for Southeast. Again, they get it back. And it looked like a fumble that time on the exchange.
Yeah, it was going to be. It's hard to tell if that was going to be a fake and come out over here. But definitely another mistake, and that may be the only way that Manatee slows down this Seminole offense.
Here's a look at another talented guy in the Manatee secondary, Nate Dawson, who's 5'8". He's done a good job this preseason. Hart working away, spinning. Hart still on his feet. Down at the 29-yard line, he's got a Southeast first down.
And he's slow to get up. Chris Hart is down.
Oh boy, this could be a huge, huge problem for Southeast as you see a big breath of silence throughout this stadium, seeing their star quarterback go down.
Well, what a fantastic run, but looks, you know what, he might have just fallen on top of the football. Could have knocked the wind out of him. We shall see. Don't want to speculate on an injury, but fantastic running. But like Michael Vick, you know, it's dangerous when you put your quarterback in that situation to take shots.
A host of trainers out to tend to Chris Hart. Coach Meckley just hopes that, you're right, Jeff, this is just the wind knocked out of him as you see him finally trot out to his star quarterback just to make sure that everything is okay. Well, we are at Southeast High School for Manatee in Southeast. As you look along the stadium, so many people along the fences, Jeff, not just in the stands, but and really gives the game a special atmosphere when so many people line across the fences to watch the game.
Especially for the first game of the season. You got the bands that fill up the end zone. It's wonderful. Now, Damian Copeland is the backup quarterback that's going to come in, and not to say anything negatively about him. I haven't seen him play enough, but it's definitely going to be a drop down from Hart. He listed as a wide receiver in the program.
Damian Copeland. He's only a sophomore. He's not very big, only 135 pounds. He'll take the place of Hart and hand to Sales. And Sales is stopped in the backfield, that time by number 77, Richard Cunningham. Grabbing onto the jersey and dragging him down in the backfield.
Good job. And you know, as I said, the kicker turns out to be Chris Hart, and he's coming back onto the field, so that's great news. But Sales, gosh, he is tough, isn't he? Just the way he keeps his knees off the ground. He's gonna pop for 1 or 2 tonight, I think, from a good distance.
So it is 4th down. Let's see what Southeast tries to do here. The ball's at the 31-yard line. So they are not far out of field goal range. It looks like they're going to punt, but we're going to get a timeout on Manatee's side with Chris Hart back there. You're right, that is kind of a double threat there, even though I think he's still feeling that one play when he went out a couple plays ago.
Yeah, I doubt that they would pull something right here, even though the ball is at a very good spot to do this, because think about it, at the 31-yard line, if you punt the ball and it goes into the end zone, you get a net punt of 11 yards. Now you could get it inside the 20, and that would be gravy on it. So you might take that risk. It depends on how Chris Hart comes back from. And I'm not calling myself a doctor, but maybe I diagnosed that to come back after the next play. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him, but he is back. We'll see if coach thinks that he is ready to make a special play.
Both of these programs lost big-time players. For Manatee, Chris McNear, what a year last year, especially into the playoffs, running behind that big offensive line, 750 yards in those playoff games. And then Farron Horns for Southeast, the talented wide receiver now at Southern Miss. Not very big, but you'll remember his name because last year in this game, Jeff, a 93-yard touchdown reception to win the game for Southeast. He's going to be missed big time tonight. Chris Hart back to punt. Let's see if he'll try and pooch it, and he does. Got a player under it, and it turns out to be a great play for Southeast as Presume Hudson is there to catch the ball and down it inside the 5-yard line.
Just about as good as you could have hoped for. What a great job of him chasing that ball down and making the catch.
Couldn't have designed it much better. And like a true wide receiver. Downing it inside the 5. So this is where, if you're Joe Canan, you do not want your freshman quarterback in these type of situations.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. You don't want to be down. You know, even if you have a senior quarterback, you don't want to be on the 5-yard line. But as we watched in the first series, they're trying to protect him, trying to let him do some easy things. They may not be able to do that down here.
Coach Meckley said field position will be key in this ball game. As Manatee will give Sean Williams on the carry. Williams got some room. Pushed out of bounds at the 17-yard line, so Williams bails out Manatee on this first play of this drive.
That's one way to do it. Pitch it left and let Sean Williams. Man, this kid is well built, low to the ground, but thick thighs. He's going to be a tough one to stop tonight as well.
Key matchup for Manatee. There's a lot of key matchups, but the ones we'll really look at, really the line against the two big tackles, Sidney Lowe and Alex Duval. Let's see how Fody Garrett and C.J. Wickersham handles the pressure that Lowe and Duval will bring. Because this Southeast defense, very much undersized. Manatee will definitely try and pound it between the tackles like they're doing right now. Although Williams takes it outside, and another big-time gain for Williams. He's got about 9 yards up to the 25.
Came right back to the left side. This time they run the counter tray with the coming back with the motion to the right. It looks like the play is going to go to the right. They come back to the left, went right back to the well, and another big gain. Looks like another, is it second down or first down?
He's second down and about 1. That was a gain of 9.
It's very hard for me to see those markers on the other side of the field.
So Breon Carnes with a 2nd and 1. Will go inside that time to the fullback. Tough running. And a couple guys scrapping out there at the end of the play. Edgar Thyler into it with Presume Hudson. After the play, no flag down. It'll be a first down for Manatee as they pound it inside for 2 yards.
Nice job by Rail just to protect the football. His contact came right at the line of scrimmage, and he got another 3 yards after that by carrying the pile. Great job, and a good start for Manatee to get out of that hole from the 5-yard line. Already out to the 30-yard line on, what, 3 plays? Great job.
Looks like we're going to have another timeout here as it is the end of the first quarter. We are done with this first session here at Southeast High School. No score at the end of one period. We're back here for the second quarter on the Catch 47 Game of the Week right after this.
Love sports? Then Catch 47. Football. Catch 47. Baseball. Catch 47. Basketball. Catch 47, soccer. Catch 47, softball. Catch 47, fishing. Catch 47. If it's your sport, if it's your game, then it's Catch 47. Tampa Bay Sports Television, only on White House Network.
Sure, my neighbors Gene and Louise, they may be superheroes with superpowers, but that doesn't make them so super at saving energy and money.
Honey?
I may not be able to harness the power of the elements, but I save significant cash and help the environment with appliances, electronics, and windows featuring the Energy Star label. So discover your own energy-saving superpowers. Go to ase.org/consumers.
Mom, Dad's making fondue again.
Taking the time to tell a great story.
Go off to the Marine Corps, get some discipline, and fight for my country.
Local
I
athletes.
really want to make the Olympics. It'd be great to make the Olympics.
Sports journalism you can count on.
Put everything together and you realize that your dad was abusing your mom.
Anchored by the most trusted man in Tampa Bay sports television. Bay Sports with Dick Griffin will bring you sports figures and their incredible stories on and off the field.
Join me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on Catch 47, Tampa Bay's sports television.
Today, 36 million Americans live in poverty, but one by one, people are helping themselves and each other to change the picture of poverty to one of hope. For easy ways you can help, visit povertyusa.org.
You're watching Catch 47, Tampa Bay sports television, only on White House Networks.
It's a first down for Manatee. They pound it inside with number 43, Nick Rail. Positive running. And Coach Joe Canan, very confident in his Manatee Hurricanes, especially his quarterback, even though he's just a freshman.
Yeah, and I like the way they come back inside with Rail again on the short down.
We will hear from Joe Canan on his freshman quarterback in just a second. As you were saying, Jeff.
I was just saying, I like that they came back inside on a first down run because he did such a good job on the short yardage to open it up, and he did a great job getting some yardage.
So Breon Carnes will pitch it. Trouble in the backfield. And a scramble for the football. Who's got it? I believe Southeast will take over. Number 35, Francisco Marino, came up with the football after the scramble for it, and Southeast will take over on their own 25, actually on Manatee's 25-yard line.
Coach Canan made the big point about what happened last week. We have to protect the football. He said we got into the red zone many, many times, but then we turned the ball over. They weren't in the red zone. They turned it over in their own red zone, basically right here. But with the freshman quarterback, and when you're running the option, your biggest worry is that when you do pitch the ball, the running back will not catch it. This time, the quarterback gets too close to the defender, and the ball gets tipped. Good play on defense.
And handed to Francisco Marino, because he really got down and scrapped on that play, was really out of it when the ball was on the floor, but the hustle play pays off for Southeast. And here's Hart. Hart in all kinds of trouble, dragged down that time, and again, that's big, number 64, Robert Harrell, on the sack.
Chris is going to need to take good care of this football. Early on the play that he got hurt, he swung the ball over the top of a defender and got away with it. Here, watch how loosely the ball's being held. That is going to be a fumble somewhere down in this football game if he doesn't take a little bit better care of it. But I think that they are going to realize that the single receiver to the wide side of the football is all they have to do is run either slant or go and let Chris start using his athletic ability, throw the ball up, and they will start scoring some touchdowns.
Harrell wreaking havoc so far, 2 sacks already along with 2 tackles. They've been big ones for Manatee. Hart looking to the opposite field, looking for Sales, just a little bit overthrown, and looks like we're going to get a flag down after the play. Maybe an unsportsmanlike is number 54, Josh McCoy, laid a lick on Sales, and maybe it was a little bit too late.
Definitely late. The ball had already hit the ground quite a while before he came in here. But sometimes, you know, you're just thinking football, but as you see, really not a tough shot, and that definitely is unsportsmanlike.
McCoy would definitely like to have that one back. That's going to cost him 15. It'll be an automatic first down.
Dead ball, personal foul. Late hit on the defense. Half the distance. That'll be a first down.
It almost looked like a World Cup type of shot where the guy falls down after barely getting touched, but definitely the shoulder was thrown. That was not a slap at soccer. I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you, but hey.
Well, there will be a lot of people defending the sport of soccer. I will not be one of them.
Me neither.
But I'll just leave it at that. Chris Hart from his own 16. Hey, hands to Sales again, and Sales has got room. Sales inside the 5. Touchdown Southeast. What a run by Henry Sales.
I didn't think it would take very long to watch number 20 get into the end zone. Just the way he is playing, he has got fantastic balance. Wears number 20 like Barry Sanders. He's not as thick, but this kid has balance like you can't believe, and power. Watch the way he finishes this run. He's there. He's saying, oh, he's going to get in there, but he powers his way into that end zone. Great job. Nice run, and also some good blocking downfield.
Henry Sales out to the fast start. Out for the extra point. It is up. And it is good. That's Mike Klein booting it through for Southeast. But this guy has been the star so far. 5 rushes, 60 yards, over 10 yards a rush. And when you got someone running like this, you got to like what Chris Hart and company are going to be able to do tonight with a hard runner like Henry Sales.
I tell you what, Drew, if Southeast will just hand the ball to Sales, don't try to do screen passes or anything else. Hand it to Sales and then let Chris Hart throw the ball straight down the field, either on slants or goes. This team will be tough to beat all season long.
You're exactly right. They have been impressive in this early going. The first game of the year, first regular season game of the year, you expect teams to still be kind of working out the kinks, figuring out where to line up. A lot of penalties, but this Southeast team so far has been pretty efficient on offense with Hart leading the way.
I tell you what, really the only thing, because Hart has the experience now, he can run this wide open passing game, and the only thing that they really need to work on in practice during the week is picking up those blitzes. When they bring those 6 guys, if Chris knows what to do with the football immediately, they'll take advantage of those and make a lot of big plays as well.
So Mike Klein will kick it off for the Noles. Southeast will field it at their 10-yard line. Looking for room. There's number 44, Austin Jensen, that time back to receive. He's a linebacker from Manatee, but such a talented athlete. You see how Coach Canan uses him in so many different ways.
Yeah, we'll see him on offense, defense, and special teams. And like what we saw just on that run right there, just powering the ball out to almost the 29-yard line. And we'll see him all over the field tonight.
Jensen's father played for Joe Canan over 20 years ago at Southeast. Breon Carnes, they got to get something going for Manatee on offense. They have had a few series, have showed some runs with Sean Williams grinding out a couple tough yards, but have not been able to establish anything consistent. Carnes under center on the option. Here he comes. And room for Carnes. He's got a first down up to the 40. That's where they'll mark it. Best play for Manatee on the day. Coach Canan confident in his young quarterback, although, of course, being a freshman lacks a lot of experience.
We have 2 young quarterbacks, but they are kids that have grown up around football, that grew up in families that Manatee was big for them and was very important to them. And you know, we see a lot of talent in those 2 people.
So Carnes is one of them. It was Jeff kind of bedlam at Manatee after their quarterback from last year, Ryan Rubino, was hurt in the St. Thomas Aquinas game, then re-injured himself playing baseball. That left them with only one option, Breon Carnes. And right now, Southeast just smothering on defense. Austin Jensen, nothing doing for Manatee.
You know, there's always the growing pains of working with young team, but I kind of joked with Coach Canan before the game and just saying, hey, that means you've got 4 years to look forward to keep you excited, because this kid, Breon Carnes, is going to be good as, or getting to be great as he grows up. I mean, playing as a freshman on a varsity at this level of football, very, very tough to do.
Coach Canan wishes he had Ryan Rubino out here. He would have been a senior this year, but You got to play with what you got. And right now, this kid under center is the best option, Breon Carnes. He'll hand to Williams, and Williams has positive yardage. He'll turn the corner. Williams across midfield, pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So Manatee, a big run from number 2, Sean Williams.
We've been giving a lot of accolades to the team in blue tonight, the Southeast Seminoles and their guys, but I really think that we just saw Carnes a couple plays ago run the ball himself, got a nice gain. Williams looks great. They've already gotten a lot of big gains out of him tonight, so if they can go one way with number 10, come back the opposite way, and make the Southeast Seminoles cover sideline to sideline, this can be a very, very competitive football game.
One player we have not heard from so far, Jeff, number 8, Edgar Thyler. He's a receiver, so you don't know how much Carnes is going to throw the ball, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him involved on a reverse or some sort of play. He was open right there, but Carnes passed him up and would try and throw deep. That time Thyler was wide open and frustrated on the field. You can see the 10-yard play was there, but that time Carnes decided to go long.
You got to make the quick decisions, and usually the young quarterbacks want to make sure of everything happening, so it takes you a little bit. You don't take that first option. You just wait. I want to make sure it's perfect. Then it becomes not perfect, and then the defenders start to make the play. So he's just going to have to be decisive, and you could see the coaches, they were animated on the sidelines. Throw the ball to the guy that's open. Oh, thanks. I didn't know that.
Edgar Thyler, a Division I prospect at receiver, a talented kid. Not very fast, but extremely quick on his running routes, as Williams has a couple yards down to the 37. That's where they'll mark it, and it'll be 3rd down for Manatee. See the differences between these two clubs, though, on offense. Manatee, with the size advantage on offense, they're going to try and pound it between the tackles. We may see some option, which we've seen so far. Southeast going to try and spread you out with the talented quarterback and a running back in Henry Sales that has done it all so far.
If I was playing an offensive coordinator right now, I would go ahead and throw the ball deep to number 8, like you mentioned, Thaliar. Let him go deep. It's not a big risk play, and if you have to punt the ball away, you can do the same thing and pin Southeast in.
So they'll fake it. Carnes will take it. Had an opening there. He stopped, though, at the 40-yard line, and there's a flag down as well. So let's see if this is a holding call on Manatee. Let's see if Southeast will accept the penalty, although they'll probably decline. Have a block in the back.
Definitely decline.
You think they should decline?
Definitely decline it. You gotta get them to give up the football.
Offensive team.
I don't really like that play, though, Drew, as a 3rd and 8 play to put in your hands of your freshman quarterback when the defense is just waiting to try to make that place anywhere within the 8-yard range.
There you see Coach Canan talking with his young quarterback, Carnes. It is going to be a on-the-job training for Carnes throughout this year, but a very talented kid. He'll get better and better as the season goes along. Vince Chicaro back to punt for Manatee. For Southeast, standing at the 10 is Todd Spate, number 7, and he'll field it. Out of bounds at the 18, that's where Southeast will start. So Chris Hart will lead this Southeast offense onto the field again, leading 7-0, 7:10 to go. 2nd quarter, we're at Southeast High School for the Catch 47 Game of the Week. Also want to mention our coverage partners here tonight. 620 WDAE, the sports animal, partnering with Catch 47 and covering the Game of the Week throughout the year. There's the truck for our radio coverage partners. And Jeff, how great is it to have such a name in the media like 620 on the Catch 47 side this entire football season?
It's awesome, and it's great that the high school gets this kind of coverage, you know, and it's worthy of it.
Hart's got 5 yards on the carry. Make it about 4. He just got past the 20-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and about 7.
You know, so many high school kids from Florida go on to play at big-time college football programs that it really is justice to see these kids right before they go on to those big programs. So coming out here and watching the fans get excited, but watching the quality of football on the field is wonderful.
I'll add this, too. Our Catch 47 T-shirt handouts have become huge in only their 2nd week. although our truck was raided by numerous Southeast students before the game. Southeast, they are in business. Trevon Murray, number 8 on the reception, up to the 38-yard line for the Noles, first down, and they are moving it again. Boy, when Hart drops back to pass, you just feel that he's so tall he can just see over everybody, you know?
Yeah, and the way they spread the players out across the field allows for very big holes to throw into, and that's why, you know, if I was a quarterback here, I'd be so excited about it. They can do all kinds of things, and like I said, as long as they can pick up the blitz or Chris knows what to do with it, they're just going to have a lot of fun this year.
We're going to have a stoppage of the game at the 6:16 mark, and let's see what the official timeout is for.
Okay, here we go.
They may have stopped it for the Catch 47 T-shirt giveaway.
I think they did.
I think there's so much excitement in the stands, they wanted people to pay attention to the game.
The Southeast War Chant, you can hear it in the background. They've started it up here on the home side. As Hart will operate on first down. Overshot that time. He had a receiver, Chris Waters, but just a little bit too high for Waters to go up and get. There you see the War Chant. The Southeast Seminoles.
It's always strange to come here and watch the war chant of the blue and the orange. Throws you off a little bit.
That is odd. I'll tell you what, Jeff, there have been some great games in the past that these two teams have played over the years. Southeast and Manatee, as we said in the pregame, 24 total meetings between these two teams. In recent years, the series has been dominated really by Southeast. In 2005, just last year, it was fair and horns on that 93-yard reception to win the game for the Noles. 2004, they didn't play it. Too many hurricanes. And in 2003, it was the Manatee Hurricanes winning 34-2. Southeast, the year before that, 1914. You see, aside from that 2003 game, the game's usually close in this series.
Yeah, but Southeast has really dominated it since the 90s. You know, really in the last 10, 12 years, they have just almost, except for as we saw 2003, I guess it was 2004, where Manatee won it, but it's been Southeast for a long time.
So Chris Hart from the 38 on second down and 10. You hear the horns going off for Manatee, trying to distract this Southeast offense, but Henry Sales just keeps on running. Sales, oh, great balance, knocked out of bounds at the 42. Man, he was hit about 3 different times on that play, but maintained his balance and got it up across midfield.
Top-level college prospect. Just, it doesn't take long to watch some of these special players to know, you know, that they're going on. This kid is small. He does, you know, obviously he's not very thick and not very heavy, but gosh, the balance there, and gets blasted. He still doesn't go down, even though he gets knocked out of bounds.
There you see the physical play right
you know,
there.
he was out of bounds before he got hit there. That could have easily been a 15-yard penalty as well.
Adam Westrich, our cameraman down on the sidelines, a proud Manatee alum. Although for this game, you got to be impartial.
I don't know. I think he's watching the guys in white more.
Sales takes it again. Sales, another good gain. Ball pops out, but I believe he was down. They'll spot it at the 37-yard line. Coach Meckley said before the game he wanted to make this game quicker, Jeff. He wanted to really exert the speed of his team against the Manatee Hurricanes. Manatee usually prides on their size. Meckley said, we want to speed up this game for everybody, being that it's opening week, and make them play up to our speed.
Yeah, he wasn't sure exactly how fast Manatee's defense would be, but like we've talked about from the beginning, the style of this offense just makes the defense cover sideline to sideline, and they're doing a great job of going back and forth and left and right, all the way outside both ways, and really, you know, after 4 quarters, it will wear down the defense.
Henry Sales, 82 yards rushing so far, making a good case to be our very first Catch 47 Player of the Week on the Game of the Week. We'll give out that award at the end of this ball game. 5:31 to go, second quarter. Chris Hart on second down and 4. from the Manatee 37-yard line. Flag on the play. Hart will throw it deep. He's got a man, and it's a touchdown. Charles Chestnut, but let's check the flag down on the 37-yard line and see what the infraction is. This could be a hold.
I think it's going to come back because of some kind of motion or illegal procedure penalty. We'll see. Came out early.
The referee's got some explaining to do. Let's see what it is.
Yep.
Oh, tough break that time for Southeast. That was a beautiful play to watch from up here.
I'll tell you what, the call surprises me because Sales was in the backfield and he went in motion early, but then everybody sat down for a long time while Chris Hart audibled. Now, do you remember about 15 plays ago when I said Chris Hart should go to the sideline to Chestnut because he's open? Well,
there you go.
He's open, touchdown.
There you go.
But it gets called back. I'm surprised that was a call. I did not see the illegal shift.
So the touchdown reception from Charles Chestnut going to be called back. And from the 41, Southeast will take over. It's still second down. Hart, plenty of time, scrambling around. He'll throw it up. Oh, boy, on that play, it looked like Chris Hart had a lot of room to run if he just kept going.
Well, he made the right choice, okay, Drew? He made the right choice. Number 3 was Chris Waters, wide open, and you should throw the ball because he was 25 yards up the field, but he just let the ball fly high.
A little bit too high that time for Hart. He has been so active so far, making it happen, throwing vertically, scrambling out of the pocket. The star so far has been Henry Sales, but Chris Hart has been very, very active for the Noles. Third down now, about 8 yards to go after the touchdown by Charles Chestnut was called back. Hart 4 of 9, 39 yards. And let's see what he can do on this play. Had a man that time, but that just a little bit too low, a little bit low for number 7, Todd Spate. That time just couldn't hang on, and Southeast will have to punt.
He would have been, if he was able to come up with that ball, he would have been just short. Then they would have been faced with a choice. Last time they made that choice, they punted the ball down to the 2-yard line, but we'll see what they do here.
So from the 42, it's going to be 4th down, and Edgar Thyler, number 8, will be back to receive for Manatee as Chris Hart will kick it for the Noles.
I'm not predicting anything here, but Hart took a long time calling a punt play. Usually you don't have to huddle that much to call the punt play.
He does kick it away. It's a high kick, not very far. Well, let's see where it's down, though. Southeast will down it. Took a Manatee bounce, and they'll mark it at about the 23-yard line. Every Monday night at 8 o'clock, be sure and watch the Bucks Extra Point with Mark Robinson and Tom Buring. This week, our very own Game of the Week personality Jeff Carlson also joins the crew, as well as former Buck. I don't know if you knew this, Jeff. Chidi Ahanatu scheduled to be in studio.
Awesome. Awesome. We did not cross paths when I played, but Chidi, what a great player. Came off the defensive end and made plenty of sacks for the Buccaneers.
Mark Robinson, Tom Buring, and this week Jeff Carlson, the Bucks Extra Point every Monday night at 8 p.m. Manatee will pitch it again, and they've got about 5 yards. They move the pile forward as the war chant gets going here at Southeast Stadium. And being a Florida State alum, you hear a song like this, and it really is music to your ears.
Can you handle it with the blue and the orange uniforms, though?
I think I can look past that and just at least close my eyes and just listen to the tunes and soak them all in. Feel like you're in Tallahassee. 4:06 left to go in the half as Carnes will take it under center at the 28. Hand off to Williams, and Williams more tough running up to the 38-yard line. First down, Manatee. 3:55 left to go in the half now. 7-0 Southeast. Manatee trying to get some points on the board.
You know, I think this grinded out type of thing, they don't have to get fancy. They don't even really have to option the ball. Like I said, if they can just let Carnes use his athletic ability running around left or right end and then hand off to Williams every other play around the opposite side, I think that they can just grind this out and play a very tight, low-scoring matchup to the end of this game.
Carnes from the 38 hands to Williams again, and Williams has got another hole. More tough running by Sean Williams up to the 42-yard line across midfield and into Southeast territory. I'll tell you what also, Jeff, too, that really helps this Manatee team, the assistants who have been with Coach Canan for decades.
We allow them to coach. I coach my coaches. I give them a lot of responsibility, and we expect them to do the job. I don't try and do their job for them. I expect, and so therefore, I think they have fun because they have responsibility and they're allowed to do their thing.
Just like a college coaching staff as far as stability, maybe even more. You've got coaches that have been with Coach Canan for 20-odd years and still happy as can be, no desire to be head coaches. And it's that stability that makes this Manatee team so strong year in and year out. I mean, high school coaching, Jeff, it's tough work. To have coaches that are with you for that period of time, well, really is a blessing.
High school coaches have fallen into that grind that the pros and the college coaches, it's a 7-day-a-week job, so it is not easy to keep going with that kind of grind, but to keep a staff together is very tough, and they're doing a great job.
There you saw Rod Frazier, the brother of Tommy Frazier, former Florida running back, also a member of that Manatee coaching staff, as the Hurricanes continue to pound it away. That will be very close to a first down. Sean Williams has been the workhorse on this drive. So Sales has been electric carrying the ball for Southeast, but Williams has been very efficient for Manatee. Two different running styles.
Different running styles, but I'll tell you what, they are both fantastic and keeping Manatee with the ball and being able to grind this thing out. And they'll take this all the way down to the end of the half and hopefully put up 7 points and knot it up before halftime. Don't forget, Drew, Williams played for Southeast last year. He was tackling guys like Sales.
That is huge, absolutely. The pitch again. Jensen has it, and look at the speed. Austin Jensen, the first touchdown of the season for the Manatee Hurricanes.
Where did he come from? We said we were going to call his name a lot on offense, defense, and special teams, but I didn't expect that kind of a sweep, and the speed that he showed was incredible. That was wonderful.
Austin Jensen, number 44, a big-time prospect for Manatee. They use him on offense as well.
Watch the length of his strides. He just runs and turns his stride over. That is awesome.
Tell you what, I thought this kid was strictly a power guy. He showed some speed on that play.
What did I say about taking it down to halftime? 4 seconds later, they're in the end zone.
Never mind. Manatee will line up for the extra point. Philip Chaltis, the kicker, will try and make it a tie game. This kick, no good. So they do not tie the game at 7-6, and in a game like this, every single point counts big time.
Well, Manatee's offense now has plenty of confidence. They know that they can do this. As long as they, exactly what Canan said, take care of the football, they'll be just fine. So they're down by 1 if this goes this way into halftime, but it'll be a battle to the finish in the second half.
Austin Jensen, second-generation player. As we said before, father played for Joe Canan. Coach Canan's got a special place in his heart for these players that span generations. There you see the extra point. Chaltis just that time hooked it left.
You know, most times, talking about Jensen right there, most times guys that can run like that are playing in the secondary, maybe linebacker. He's been playing defensive end. Now, you might be kind of a Derek Thomas type or a Simeon Rice, not the same size as those guys, but the speed coming off the end, trying to get to Chris Hart before he can get rid of the football. We'll see if he can get some sacks as well as add to his touchdown total.
The kickoff again. Manatee this time are going to have a stoppage of play. Maybe a Hurricanes player was offsides, or it's going to be a false start. So Manatee's going to have to kick it 5 yards back, and still with 2:37 to go, plenty of time for this quick strike Southeast offense to get some more points on the board before the half. Tell you what, Jeff, for the first regular season game of the year, could we have had a better matchup tonight?
No, I was so excited to get the year started off with this group, and the coaches, you know, they've known each other forever. They're not best friends, but they've been going to coaching clinics and things like that for years and years and years. They get together. This helps both schools make money. As everybody comes in here, they split the gate receipts because it's good for both schools to start the season. It's tough that one of these good football teams is going to end up with a loss to start the season every year, but it's great overall for everybody, all the fans involved, and of course us trying to cover it.
Manatee will try it again from the 35, and look out. Southeast will field it. That's Todd Spate. He's going to have some room, and a lot of room on that left side if he can get a couple of blocks. Still on his feet. Oh, boy, sniffed out, though, that time. Number 54, Josh McCoy, who has been active tonight. Tell you what, Spate kind of backtracked there, and McCoy was there waiting for him.
McCoy has got good speed. He looks, you know, he's number 54, but number 44, Jensen and McCoy, those are two tough defenders.
Experience in this game. That is what it is all about for these two coaching staffs.
With the experience we have in the quarterback position, who in Chris Hart has been on our team for 4 years, with the tailback Henry Sales having been with us last year, and with wide receiver Todd Spate there, those are good combinations of experience. We also have 3 offensive linemen that started, so those guys are the ones that kind of get things established for us as a football team, I think early in the season, until we kind of grow as a defense.
Experience definitely the key for Southeast tonight, as Coach Meckley said, quarterback and running back, all returning players. A big advantage for Southeast tonight. And on that play, keep an eye on Henry Sales, who is slow to get up on the sideline. I don't know if that's a cramp or if he kind of pulled up on that play, but right now he's got some trainers tending to him on the sideline as he is down on one knee. Let's maybe see if we can get some info on him, and hopefully that's not a serious injury, but you saw him kind of pull up at the end of that run and trot out of bounds. Hart will continue to operate this Southeast offense. And scramble right. Here he comes up to the 45, stays inbound, so clock will keep running as we approach 2 minutes.
Manatee just trying to play what they have been playing all half long, and that's bend but don't break. Just give up the small runs, small advances, keep the ball in bounds, and let this clock run itself out.
Curious to see what the deal is down there with Sales. He appears to be holding his right hip there. Nonetheless, Southeast, the show will go on for them. A handoff, tough running inside for Trevon Murray. Trevian Murray across midfield, and right now Southeast got to hurry up a little bit. Although the clock is stopped on the first down. Trevian Murray, nice run for the Noles. So 1st and 10, Hart calling out the play. Back to throw, he'll go deep. Got a receiver out there. Oh, Spate had it in his arms, couldn't hang on. I'll tell you what, though, Chris Hart just puts that right on the money.
Yeah, pretty ball all the way out there. Spate's a smaller guy. He had to wait to the last second to try to make his move to get this ball. You see, he's got position on him. The ball is short, and he had to try to go over the top. And just a good defender blocks it, got right in the position of the ball coming in.
There's the numbers on Hart from a year ago. 78 of 169, almost 1,400 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, 9 INTs. You expect him to get a lot more attempts this year as he is a senior. The coaching staff pretty much giving him the keys to the offense this year. Looks like we're going to have a false start by the Noles.
Wow, we've had encroachment defense.
Oh, they're going to get an offsides on Manatee. So mark off 5 more yards with now 1:11 to go. And the ball will be marked on the 42-yard line. Golden opportunity here for the Noles to go into halftime, putting points on the board after the First Manatee touchdown of the season. Austin Jensen making it happen that time. Hart's pass batted down. That again, the big defensive lineman for Manatee, number 64, Robert Harold. What a game he's had so far.
Nice job getting his hands up. The ball was a little bit of a broken play as Chris Hart does a good job keeping his wits about him, but then Harold is ready to jump up. And, you know, Chris Sims, there was an article in the paper I think it was yesterday or today, where the Buccaneers have been working on trying to get Chris to throw the ball up higher. And what happens is sometimes the defenders, if they don't get a good pass rush early, they'll stop and wait and watch. And that's exactly what Harold did. Great job waiting, seeing where the ball was going to go, and knocking it down.
Big Robert Harold, big-time college prospect. Having a great game so far. They're going to blow this dead. As Austin Jensen was creeping up on Chris Hart, had the sense of mind to put on the brakes. Let's see the call here.
Ball foul, we had wide receiver lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards, the second down.
Third. That play turned into a penalty, Drew, but the center, Al Foti, is going to have to concentrate a little bit better right now. Maybe he's sweating really badly or whatnot, but that was the second play in a row where the center snap basically was on the ground.
4 wide receivers for the Southeast Seminoles, and Chris Hart on his own 45, scrambling, looking for a man. He's got him. He's got him. Number 7's got it. Todd Spate is going to have a Southeast touchdown. What a play by Chris Hart, motioning to his receiver, Todd Spate, to keep running. Spate did just that. And Southeast takes the 13-6 lead.
Yeah, now here's where you're talking about a senior and his leadership and knowing what he wants. He ends up rolling out to the left, and if we can see him, watch his hand movement. There he goes, pumps him, go, get out there. Throws a perfect spot, and Spate was right there, ready, just like he was before, ready to go in and take it in for a score.
Todd Spate only goes 151 pounds, 5'7", but he is the senior's got the experience, and you can see how he can present a lot of problems for an opposing defense. Well, these Southeast receivers been impressive tonight. The extra point is good, and it's a 14-6 Southeast lead with 35 seconds to go in this first period. Chris Hart, percentage-wise, just under 50%, but he has made the big plays when he's had to. The big touchdown toss on that last play, and has had some help from his running back, Henry Sales. But that time, Sales goes out of the game. He's out for that entire drive, Jeff, and Hart pretty much takes it into his own hands.
Yeah, and he's able to do that whenever he wants. Sales is a great running back, and that's what's going to make this team so tough throughout the year. But Chris Hart is a man among boys most of the time, and he's going to be able to make plays, and like you said, put the team on his shoulders when they need him to.
Tell you what, I really, really like this Southeast football team.
Well, it really takes the wind out of the sails of the Hurricanes as well. When you go down the field, you score your big touchdown, and then to give it up with only 35 seconds left in the half to give up another score. But they'll be back. They've got enough experience on this football team, and I think they saw in the first half what they need to do. They just need to play mistake-free football and run at the Seminoles. Both sides of the football, they can do it. So they'll be back in the second half.
Mike Klein will kick it away. Austin Jensen standing at his own 5-yard line will receive it. Here's Jensen. Jensen, he scored before. Already with a touchdown. Jensen across the 40-yard line. Another nice return. 25 seconds left to go in this half. Still enough time for a couple of plays to possibly get into field goal range for Manatee.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we talked about how good of an arm this freshman, Breon Carnes, has. And real quickly, Jensen, we saw how quick he was around the corner for the big touchdown. Now you see why he's back there returning kickoffs and doing it all. This guy has athletic ability coming out of Avery Poor. But back to Carnes, he can throw the ball deep down the field. Okay, they have the opportunity to go for it and try it. Why not? If they can protect him, let him throw the ball up, because unless all of a sudden it's intercepted in a big return, you've got a chance to make a big play down the field before halftime.
We've got a timeout as Manatee will talk this one over. Coach Canan comes out to his young quarterback. 14-6 here, 25 seconds left to go so far. It has been the Chris Hart show along with Henry Sales getting it done. Quarterback to running back. Beef O'Brady's high school scoreboard. Oh my goodness, who is that?
Hey, hey, hey.
Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. as we will run down all the great highlights from around the viewing area. We'll also have a in-studio guest and a new segment, Jeff, called Zone Coverage, where we talk to as many coaches as we can in 5 minutes time.
Hey, Drew, I'm not saying this just because you're standing next to me and we're broadcast partners right now. You did a great job. I saw a replay. I did not see it on Wednesday night, but I saw the replay and thought you did a great job. And that what you're talking about, the zone coverage, fantastic segment.
Right back at you. Thank you very much. The Beef O'Brady's high school scoreboard every Tuesday at 8 p.m. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Manatee in business. They've got some running room. Ball pops out. Hurricanes scrambling for it. Looks like Southeast may have won the battle, though. Only 12 seconds to go, so if Southeast does recover, maybe too late to really make any points out of it, but still, it would be an emotional lift going into the half. Manatee, some problems holding on to the ball tonight. Still, they do recover it on that one.
Yeah, throwing the ball around a little bit. That's what they didn't want to do. But honestly, that should have been a bigger play than it was. The receivers downfield weren't doing as great a job. That should not been contact that early on down the field, I think.
Boy, I'll tell you what, there have been some loose balls out here tonight, Jeff, and there is not one player that isn't diving and scrapping for it.
Yeah, the ball's bouncing all over the place.
You can tell there's
big
so much
fumbles, you know, they're going 5 yards down the field.
So much on the line. Jeff, you mentioned before in the broadcast about these two coaches and the relationship that they've had over the years. I asked Coach Meckley before the game, you know, you guys, meaning Coach Canan and himself, got into this business, started coaching here at the same time in 1981. Have you become close friends over the years? And he looked at me and said, not necessarily. I mean, we do the football stuff together, but.
Well, you know, they're like guys. You know, when you go out on a golf course with guys, and you really just go, nice shot, hey, great putt, you know, whatever. You don't get to those deep relationships. These guys are 7 days a week talking football on their own football, so they're friends, they're acquaintances for a long time and work together very well.
Oh, boy, definitely competitors first, friends second. Carnes will fire deep. Just overshot Edgar Thyler, who is ahead of the pack. 4 seconds to go. Maybe time for one more play for Manatee. There you saw Thyler, the first time they've really thrown at him tonight.
With 4 seconds left, you just give it one more shot. Same thing, either deep down the middle or to the outside.
Have a penalty on this play. It's going to be a false start. We didn't see a flag down. Nonetheless, they will call a false start on Manatee, so they'll push him back 5 yards. And the Canes will take over now from about the 50-yard line. One more shot for Carnes. Although he's just a freshman, you saw the arm strength of Carnes on that last play. He can really throw that football a very long way.
Well, we're watching number 5, Chris Hart, as the senior with the experience and all that kind of stuff. 4 years from now, or maybe even next year, this number 10 is going to have that experience, and he is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
There you see Chris Hart. Chris Hart actually out on defense right now. Surprising that your quarterback, such a valuable player, would be out there on defense, but he's such a great athlete.
Athleticism, you got that right. 6'3" athleticism. He can go run outside if the ball goes out there and bat the ball away. Make sure, you know, sometimes on prevent defense, like Keyshawn Johnson, I think, played a prevent defense before, where you go out and just knock that ball away if they try to throw it up.
I think you're right. That's primarily why he is out there. In case of a jump ball, you want your tallest player out there to possibly bat the ball down. Coach Canan calling out the final play before halftime. It's been a great game so far. These two teams have both traded jabs. We'll see in the second half who has the knockout punch. crowd gets into it from the 48. Carnes play action. Looking for Thyler again. That time just shot him a little bit too high. That'll be the final play of the half, as both teams will head to the locker room. Southeast with a 14-6 lead. It has been a great first half here. And when we come back, we will get into more about this Southeast football program and how technology has had such effect on games like this tonight. Southeast 14, Manatee 6. We are done with one half here on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
Love sports? Then Catch 47. Football. Catch 47. Baseball. Catch 47. Basketball. Catch 47. Soccer. Catch 47. Softball. Catch 47. Fishing. Catch 47. If it's your sport, if it's your game, then it's Catch 47. Tampa Bay Sports Television. Only on White House Network.
Sure, my neighbors Gene and Louise, they may be superheroes with superpowers, but that doesn't make them so super at saving energy and money.
Honey.
I may not be able to harness the power of the elements, but I save significant cash and help the environment with appliances, electronics, and windows featuring the Energy Star label. So discover your own energy-saving superpowers. Go to ase.org/consumers.
Mom, Dad's making fondue again.
Taking the time to tell a great story.
Go off to the Marine Corps, get some discipline, and fight for my country.
Local athletes.
I really want to make the Olympics. It would be great to make the Olympics.
Sports journalism you can count on.
Put everything together and you realize that your dad was abusing your mom.
Anchored the most trusted man in Tampa Bay sports television. Bay Sports with Dick Griffin will bring you sports figures and their incredible stories on and off the field.
Join me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on Catch 47, Tampa Bay's sports television.
Today, 36 million Americans live in poverty, but one by one, people are helping themselves and each other to change the picture of poverty to one of hope. For easy ways you can help, visit povertyusa.org.
You're watching Catch 47, Tampa Bay sports television, only on White House Networks.
The sights and sounds of the Manatee High School Marching Band as the Hurricanes trail after one half of play in this game 14-6. You know, game preparation at the high school level has evolved over the years, and one of the reasons why, because of a new system that helps in developing film study and how the coaches relate to the players. It's called Apex, and earlier in the week we spent a day at Southeast to check it out.
Go to down, 2, 4, 4, left.
Just call it the future of film study.
Go to style, play video, pause video.
Gone are the days of rewinding and fast forwarding. Here are the days of Apex. a complex voice-activated digital editing system that even old schoolers like Paul Meckley welcome with open arms.
I think the thing that the program allows you to do is it allows you to spend more time on a specific play because you can get there a little bit quicker. Let's say I'm looking for the first offensive play of the third series. I can immediately go and find that as compared to rolling through the film. Okay, they're still on offense, they're still on offense, they're still on offense. Now it's our second term on offense, but I still want the third series. So now I got to wait and go through the tape, and then you might miss it, and it's that old hunt and peck thing that I think has merely, changed here.
Southeast football began using Apex 2 years ago, and now have become one of the few high schools in the area to use what the pros do. Among the benefits are emailing game film to players, burning film to DVDs, and most of all, saving time. Remember, film study is limited for high school players.
Well, it helps me learn because I learn better when I see the plays over and over and over. That way I get the flow of the play and the way that it looks to me in the position that I play. So being able to switch from play 5 that's an ISO to play 15 that's an ISO without having to fast forward through or rewind in order to see that helps my mind remember it better.
Echo's going to pull on a dart. Jam the tight end a little bit.
For Coach Meckley, teaching has become more efficient. The power of Apex giving the Seminoles an advantage come game time and putting Southeast football at the front of this digital age.
I know for a person that's been in coaching for a while, it's like a breath of fresh air for myself. I didn't grow up in the era of the Nintendo, the PlayStations, the Sega, the Xbox, those type of things. I wasn't a part of that, but I guess for me this has kind of become that, and it's fun to work with, and it's makes it enjoyable, and you look forward to going home and breaking down your films this way.
Catch 47, Tampa Bay Sports Television is your ticket to 24-hour-a-day sports coverage.
The 47-yard about to catch his lane cycle.
Tebow will tuck it and run, but he's stopped by 47, Dougie Thompson. Pastorino will heave it. Oh!
There's the pitch. Strike. Throw. Catch by 47. Covered it.
Catch 47, Tampa Bay Sports Television. Your ticket to 24-hour-a-day sports coverage. Only on Bright House Networks.
The Southeast Seminole Marching Band making their appearance here at halftime. Where their team with a 14-6 lead as we tick down until we begin the second half. Unfortunately, Mother Nature also making an appearance here. You see the rain coming down here at halftime. Hopefully it does not last long. Here are your stats. Rushing about even. Manatee has more yards on the ground, but you look at the passing stat, you see why. Southeast controlling the skies. Total yards also belongs to Southeast. Manatee with 1 fumble, and penalties about even there as well. 25 yards against Manatee and 30 against Southeast. Some of the big plays of the first half, we started it off with this, a fumble which put Southeast in business. As you saw there, diving and scrapping for the ball, it was Francisco Marino coming up with it. Then the running back Henry Sales, who has been the MVP so far in this first half, scoring on some tough running to the outside. Manatee would respond, and they do it with their senior leader, Austin Jensen, number 44, plays both ways. Showed some speed on that play, scoring Manatee misses the extra point, so it's 7-6. From there, Henry Sales, the star running back, goes out of the game for the Noles. Chris Hart, no problem, looks downfield, and Todd Spate catches it and runs away from everybody. Southeast kicks both extra points, both good. It's 14-6, and that's how we ended the first half. We'll be back with the second half of action when we come back on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
Love sports? Then Catch 47. Football. Catch 47. Baseball. Catch 47. Basketball. Catch 47. Soccer. Catch 47. Softball. Catch 47. Fishing? Catch 47. If it's your sport, if it's your game, then it's Catch 47. Tampa Bay Sports Television. Only on Bright House Network.
Sure, my neighbors Gene and Louise, they may be superheroes with superpowers, but that doesn't make them so super at saving energy and money.
Honey?
I may not be able to harness the power of the elements, but I save significant cash and help the environment with appliances, electronics, and windows featuring the Energy Star label. So discover your own energy-saving superpowers. Go to ase.org/consumers.
Mom, Dad's making fun do again.
Taking the time to tell a great story.
Go off to the Marine Corps, get some discipline, and fight for my country.
Local athletes.
I really want to make the Olympics. It'd be great to make the Olympics.
Sports journalism you can count on.
Put everything together and you realize that your dad was abusing your mom.
Anchored by the most trusted man in Tampa Bay sports television. Bay Sports with Dick Griffin will bring you sports figures and their incredible stories on and off the field.
Join me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on Catch 47, Tampa Bay's sports television.
Today, 36 million Americans live in poverty, but one by one, people are helping themselves and each other to change the picture of poverty to one of hope. For easy ways you can help, visit povertyusa.org.
You're watching Catch 47, Tampa Bay sports television, only on Bright House Networks.
Minutes away from the start of the second half, Southeast leads Manatee by a score of 14-6. We talked about in the first half how Joe Kinnan and Paul Meckley aren't necessarily best of friends, although because they've been coaching together for so long, they're mainly competitors first. But believe it or not, Coach Kinnan is actually a Southeast Seminoles fan, all except for 1 week of the year.
Well, I support, Southeastern program, and except for when they play us. Paul does a super job. He has his kids always ready to play. They're very well coached. They always are very, very physical. He does a great job, and he's done it with a lot of different coaches over the years. He hasn't had a lot of the stability sometimes. He's had a lot of turnover in coaches, but he's had the ability to take whoever he's got, and it's still the same Southeast team, so it has his mark on it.
A lot of people don't know, Jeff, Coach Kinnan actually almost hired Coach Meckley back in 1981 to be his defensive coordinator at Manatee.
Yeah, that it got kind of messed up with the hiring process or whatever, and they switched it up, but it's worked out for both pretty darn well.
And over the years, Coach Meckley says there are no hard feelings against Manatee High School. He supports the Hurricanes program just like Coach Kinnan does otherwise.
It's been a rewarding experience for me, and games against Manatee have been hard-fought, good football games, close games, and both programs have moved their way up into better teams in the state.
So much respect developed between these two coaches over the years. So many great athletes, so many great games, so many great fans have gone through these two programs. I think when you look all around our viewing area, including Polk County, Hillsborough County, the northern counties, Citrus, Hernando, Pasco, I think this rivalry may be the most special one throughout our entire viewing area. And I'm actually from Hillsborough County too, but this rivalry, I think, has the pageantry that maybe no other one has.
Well, I agree, Bradenton. The Bradenton-Sarasota football aura is special. They've proven it over the years, and there's no way to fight it because they put out quality college football players and just put a great great show on every year in high school football.
Take nothing away from other rivalries like Jesuit Tampa Catholic, Lakeland, Kathleen, all the other great rivalries in our viewing area. We're at halftime. We're back with the second half. Right after this, Southeast leads by 8.
Spend your day with Catch 47, Tampa Bay Sports Television. Your sports, 24 hours a day. Fishing, Catch 47. Baseball,
Bouncing right back up.
Catch 47. Extreme sports, Catch 47. Racing, Catch 47. Football, Catch 47. For 24-hour sports coverage, Catch 47, Tampa Bay Sports Television. Only on Bright House Networks.
Drew Felios, Jeff Carlson here at Southeast High School. We are about to begin the second half with the Southeast Seminoles leading the Manatee Hurricanes by a score of 14-6. It was an entertaining first half. The second half should be even better as Mike Klein is back to kick, and the traditional hands in the air for Southeast. The horns go off. We had a shower at halftime. Those rains have ceased as we begin the second half. And here comes Austin Jensen, who had a touchdown in the first half. He's up to the 22-yard line. Manatee High School, 1992, their last state championship. That glory year, 1992, with star quarterback Tommy Frazier. And here's a clip of that great game. And number 15, Frazier, and all the work he did. It was over Dillard, and the last of 4 state titles for the Hurricanes. Since, Manatee has not won one, but still the program has managed to continue their winning ways to still become one of the dominant programs in the entire state of Florida. First play of the game, Sean Williams stacked up in the backfield as Southeast that time sniffed that one out.
You know, they've shown Coach Canan's record over his entire career, 201-55. That's 4 wins for every 1 loss. That's 8-2 every year. That's pretty tough when you go as many years as they've gone.
Southeast, on the other hand, they've had some great games as well. 2 state championships, not as many as the Manatee Hurricanes have, but Southeast still very successful here as well in Manatee County. Breon Carson, here he is again. Ooh, that time took a big pot. That time near the 30-yard line as most of Manatee defenders, or Southeast defenders, on him. Breon Carnes, the young quarterback for Manatee, getting it done here in the second half.
You can just see how it's going to be in a couple years from now. He's already got the ability to do it. He just has to be put in situations for him to be successful where he doesn't have to read defenses and find small holes. If they can just do that and hold on to the ball this half, hold on to the ball. Canan's biggest worry was turning the ball over, and they turned the ball over in the first half. They stopped that. This will be a good game.
Carnes gives it to Williams. Williams trying to get the first down, and he may be a little short. Let's see where they mark the football. Needed to get to the 29.
Couple yards short.
And I believe, yes, it is going to be 4th down. Actually needed to get about 3 more yards on that play. Again, tough to see the first down marker from here, but he is well short of the first down nonetheless. So Manatee will kick it away. Vince Chircaro back at his own 15. Todd Spate calls for the fair catch. He's got it at the 38. That's where the Seminoles will take over. Big question for the Noles. Will Henry Sales play? And you see number 20 trot onto the field in blue. So that is good news for Southeast. Sales is back. And speaking of this Southeast offense, they've had some great, and I mean great, offensive players of the past. The biggest one went on to Florida State University and led the Noles in this game. Remember this guy, Jeff, guy by the name of Peter Warwick. What speed he had catching the ball.
What a great kick returner he was. He just was special. All kinds of moves.
20-7, the final in that state championship game. First play for Southeast blown dead. Peter Warwick went on to Florida State University.
to the NFL from there, and the Cincinnati Bengals now work with the Seattle Seahawks. Southeast going to be called for another offsides. That's not the first time that infraction has happened tonight. It happened on that last drive before the half. And I really am happy to see, Jeff, the rain has cleared off. It looks like the weather's going to be favorable this second half.
Yeah, just enough rain to keep it cool, but not to hinder the play on the field.
Chris Hart had the big first half. If you're just joining us, a touchdown pass to Todd Spade. Also very efficient on offense. Here he comes again. Splits two defenders. Nice throw. Chris Waters, the reception. And he's about 5 yards shy of the first down. They'll mark it at the 49.
Nice throw by Hart. Next time, watch Josh McCoy. He's going to get there a step earlier next time. He just gets it in there. Good shot, good catch. Nice pickup.
Call it the 44-yard line, Jeff.
I'll call it the 44 with you.
So it's 2nd and 5 for Hart and company. Operating out of the shotgun most of the night. Sales right next to him has not carried it. This is his first carry since coming back into the game. And he is greeted at the 44-yard line by Austin Jensen.
Jensen and McCoy, 44 and 54, pretty good team there. He doesn't even get touched on this one on the defensive end, hoping to play kind of an option style out there, let the defensive end have to make a decision, but Jensen really sniffed that one out and made a nice play.
It was almost like Jensen was saying, come to Papa, come to Papa. He was waiting for him on that play.
He came to him and he took care of him. 3rd and short.
3rd and short. Manatee crowd trying to get their defense into it. Here's Hart, he'll take it himself. He's got the first down. Not electrifying, but efficient. He's up to the 47, and Southeast will move the sticks.
Interesting play. Watch the lead back. That looks like they didn't know which one was getting it. Sales was right next to him. I mean, good lead blocker, I guess, but it didn't look like that was the way it was designed.
He didn't get much of Josh McCoy that time, but got enough of him on that block to spring Hart free for the first down. Hart gives to Sales again. They've had problems on the exchanges tonight on both sides of the ball. That time it's a loss of 4.
We are.
Southeast does recover, but still a loss of 4 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Surprising that Chris Hart would have this kind of trouble in the backfield. This is where your experience as a senior is supposed to shine out, but they just play before we mentioned on the 3rd and short. Didn't look quite like they were in sync. And again, right there, ball up high on Sales' chest.
There you see the offensive coordinator for Southeast barking out the play call, and Chris Hart with a 2nd down and about 13 yards out of the shotgun. Looking for Spade again. No, he throws deep. He's got another man. Touchdown, Southeast. That's Chris Waters. Actually, number 2, Charles Chestnut on the reception. Chestnut with the score.
The 2nd of the night. And what does Chris Hart show you right there? He had Joey Spade running down the left, kind of down the seam, turns all the way back, and goes deep for Charles Chestnut. What a great throw, catch, and finish.
Chestnut had a reception earlier for a touchdown. That was called back. This one, no flags on the play. So Chestnut gets into the scoring column, and Southeast looking for the knockout blow to begin this 3rd period. It's 21-6 after the extra point.
I made a mistake, Drew. The first touchdown, his catch got called back on a penalty. I made that mistake.
There's the numbers on Chris Hart. Only 7 completions, but they have been big gainers. 157 yards. And right now, I think when they spread you out, I mean, it looks like Southeast has the advantage with their receivers and their quarterback Chris Hart against this Manatee defense.
Yes, no, they're going to have the advantage against every team they play against this year with this style because Sales is so good and Chris Hart is so good to spread the defense out. I mean, if you have the guys that can run it, it's one of the best, most explosive offenses around. And Chris may have stats like this every week, you know, a 50% pass completion, but he's going to have big plays every week. So look for him to have a lot of touchdowns and a lot of yards, but probably, you know, 50-50. Hopefully he'll get into this closer to the 60% range, but they're going to have a lot of plays, and Henry Sales is going to have a big year as well.
And right now, if you're Manatee, you got to be scratching your head because on defense, first it was Henry Sales on the ground. He goes out of the game, becomes a non-factor, and Chris Hart takes over with his arm, and the great receivers on his side. As Jensen will field it again. He's had some big returns tonight. This time he's going to be stopped just across the 20-yard line.
Late flag, Drew.
There you see Austin Jensen may have been on this play, knocked out of bounds a little bit too late.
Right there.
Right there,
up
yeah.
on top.
That may make it a roughness call on the Southeast side for special teams. Let's check out the call. Referee's now talking it over.
Ball foul, dead ball, personal foul. Late hit, 15 yards, first down.
Here you get another look at the play.
I call this unnecessary roughness as opposed to late hit. Watch this. I guess that is a hit, but he goes down on top of him, and I call that unnecessary roughness, but they call it a late hit. Still a dead ball foul.
Yeah, either way, Manatee needs some points. Trailing now by 15. Ooh, that may be a late hit as well. Thyler was on the ground that time defenseless, and that time took a lick big time by Troy Dufresne. No call. Edgar Thyler still looking for his first catch of the day.
Well, this is where Breon Carnes is going to have to mature quickly. He's going to have to become a sophomore and a junior overnight or on these plays here. He's got to be able to put those types of passes on the money so that the Manatee offense can start moving the football. Now they're down by 2 scores with the 2-point conversion that they're going to need on one of them.
And 2nd and 10 from the 36. Carnes will fake it. He's got a man open. He'll swing it out to him, and a nice job of hanging onto the football by Nick Rail.
Rail's had a good game tonight, and that was a very nice catch. Had to make the acrobatic catch behind him, and brings up 3rd and a medium. This is going to be a place where Carnes has got to come through.
You're right, Jeff. 3rd and 4. What's the play call going to be? A big one for the Manatee Hurricanes. Don't want to get down too far, especially in Southeast Stadium with the type of offense that you've seen. They need a nice long drive here to kill some clock and really rebuild their confidence.
They need to give the ball to Williams, number 2. He had a very solid first half, and they do.
Williams going to try and turn the corner. He's got the first down and more. Williams across the 40 and out of bounds. Sean Williams coming through, the senior running back answering the bell.
Give it to the senior when you need it, and he does a great job of finding it. Could have easily been held behind the line of scrimmage, but it's his determination and great athletic moves right there, breaking for the big run.
There has been excitement personified on both sides of the ball, but especially for Southeast. This is opening week, and his Seminoles have been jacked up so far.
It's always exciting anytime you have a home football game, and you know when you play to a tune in the war chant that has become nationally known with Florida State, with the Atlanta Braves, and other organizations that use that as kind of a rallying cry. It's exciting when you hear that on the first time on a Friday night for a football game, and then when you double it against Manatee, you talk to the kids about, not many teams would want to play their, big rivalry game week out, except maybe 2 other Seminoles and Hurricanes that are in the northern and southern part of Florida, being Miami and Florida State. So that's kind of exciting for our kids.
It has been Exciting so far for both of these teams. The rain has continued to come down here as a lot of the fans sort of run for cover. Sean Williams among the Manatee Hurricanes that'll now try and grind it out as this rain kind of takes over here. Carnes will keep it. He's going to have positive yardage, 6 yards, up to the 33-yard line.
It's going to be tough sledding for Carnes. You know, it's really tough. I mean, to come out as a freshman in this magnitude of a football game and be successful, but now the rain does come. And I tell you what, they don't take care of the football at the high school level like they do in college and pro. So his ball is going to be wet, going to be tough for him to throw, especially throw the ball down the field like they're going to need to do here soon, late here in the third quarter.
Let's see how much of it is a factor. Austin Jensen in the backfield, a little bit of a, there you go, Jeff, ball on the ground. Austin Jensen able to recover, and you saw the mishap on the exchange there between Carnes and his fullback. Jensen, though, was able to recover the ball.
You just want to limit your exposure to possibilities of these types of things happening. And if I'm coach, I think I said this in the first half, get away from pitching the ball. Let Williams, who just showed you on 3rd and 3 that he can pick up 20 yards if you want it, just hand it to number 2, let him do his thing, and let Carnes go ahead and throw the ball straight up the field. Don't get into too many fancy passes.
So Carnes looks for Jensen. It's a throwback pass. Thyler, off his chest. Manatee had that play open, but again, the wet ball may be a factor.
Catchable ball, not pretty. Jensen gets rid of the ball quickly, but it was catchable. This ball could have gone for a first down, as you see. Just turns, gets rid of it. It's a floppy ball, but that was catchable. We'll have to see. I can't see if the defender got in the way or not, but it looked like he should have been able to catch that ball.
Golden opportunity for Manatee to have a positive play on that last play. Still, Thyler couldn't hold on, and now it's 4th down for the team in white. Yardage to go, a little over 5 yards. And this Southeast crowd starting to get into it. Carnes back to throw. Looking for his man, Williams, nothing doing. And the Southeast defense holds. Manatee will trot to the sideline, and job well done by the Southeast defense.
Yes, definitely, and I agree, going for it. I thought this was a good idea, faking to Williams this time, but you needed to roll Carnes around, and instead of trying to make him throw it past it. That play did not work in the first half. Seminole was ready for it. Again, they were ready for it. Let Carnes roll out and either have the run-pass option. As we've seen, he can run the ball very effectively like a running back. Give him the run-pass option. Instead, they try to make a tough pass for him.
So let's see if this rain has any effect on slowing down this Southeast Seminoles offense. Hart looks left. Here he comes. Up to the 46-yard line. Positive yardage for Chris Hart. He has done that all night long for Southeast. With Hart, this type of threat running the ball and Sales right behind him, it presents a nightmare for opposing defenses. I mean, when they go option like that, who do you cover?
Well, when you have the athletes to do it, it's a very effective offense. You see them miss that first tackle with the 2 guys up front. If they miss them at the first level, this is going to be a long finish to the 3rd and a long 4th quarter for Manatee.
Hart, fake handoff. There's a flag on the play.
As a team,
it's going to be a false start on Southeast. I did see in the distance, Jeff, a flash of lightning. Now, hopefully, that's the only sample of it I see all night.
And hopefully the only thunder we'll hear is from the Seminole bass drum over here on this side of the football field.
Hart has been effective rushing the ball, as we just saw. They'll operate back now with a 1st down and 15 to go after the penalty. Spate was open. Hart missed him. And Austin Jensen's going to have his first sack of the ball game on Chris Hart. Number 44 for Manatee has a touchdown he's already scored, and there you saw what a great player he is on defense, making it happen.
I'm going to give Richard Cunningham credit on this one as well. The couple guys get in here on Chris Hart, and Hart does a good job of holding on to this football. There he is. Cunningham really with the sack there. Jensen on the assist, but Chris did a good job holding on to the football.
Right, Richard Cunningham, number 77. We haven't called his number a lot tonight. Nice job making that initial hit. And Jensen finishing it off. So Southeast way, way back now, and it's second down. Hart looking downfield. He's got another man. It's caught. 30-yard line. That's number 3, Chris Waters. Another reception for Waters, and the Southeast air attack continues.
How pretty was this? This ball just drops into his arms. It looks like it was going to be a tough catch. It looked like the defender was going to make the play, and then he just drops right into his hands. I think, Drew, we are going to be out of here quickly. Was that lightning? Yes, we are.
Lightning.
This game has been halted right now. We're up high. We need to get down low.
You're absolutely right. That strike came out of nowhere as both teams now will go to the locker room, and fans on both sides will head for the exits, or at least temporary shelter until we can start up the rest of this half. Hopefully, this is not a permanent thing. We will be back, hopefully, for the continuation of this game after this. 21-6, 2:21 left to go, third quarter. The Southeast Seminoles lead the Manatee Hurricanes.
Love sports? Then catch 47. Football. Catch 47. Baseball. Catch 47. Basketball. Catch 47. Soccer. Catch 47. Softball. Catch 47. Fishing. Catch 47. If it's your sport, if it's your game, then it's Catch 47. Tampa Bay Sports Television. Only on Bright House Network.
Sure, my neighbors Gene and Louise, they may be superheroes with superpowers, but that doesn't make them so super at saving energy and money.
Honey?
I may not be able to harness the power of the elements, but I save significant cash and help the environment with appliances, electronics, and windows featuring the Energy Star label. So discover your own energy-saving superpowers. Go to ase.org/consumers.
Mom, Dad's making fun of you again.
Taking the time to tell a great story.
Go off to the Marine Corps, get some discipline, and fight for my country.
Local athletes.
I really want to make the Olympics. It would be great to make the Olympics.
Sports journalism you can count on.
Put everything together and you realize that your dad was abusing you.
Anchored by the most trusted man in Tampa Bay sports television. Bay Sports with Dick Griffin will bring you sports figures and their incredible stories on and off the field.
Join me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on Catch 47, Tampa Bay's sports television.
Today, 36 million Americans live in poverty. But one by one, people are helping themselves and each other to change the picture of poverty to one of hope. For easy ways you can help, visit povertyusa.org.
You're watching Catch 47, Tampa Bay sports television, only on Bright House Networks.
Drew Felios, Jeff Carlson here at Southeast High School. We are in the third quarter. It's 21-6 with 2:21 left to go in the quarter. Now you're watching our Game of the Week broadcast. It looks like there has not been a break in the action, but in reality we are resuming play after an hour and 20-minute rain delay. Southeast takes over at the 35-yard line just like nothing ever happened. This will be a direct snap to Sales. He's cut down, no gain on the play. And Manatee's defense holding strong. But if you look around the stadium here, a lot of the people have left. In fact, only about, I'd say, 15 to 20% of the people are still here. Both of the bands have gone home. And right now, Jeff, this is almost like a completely different football game.
Oh, absolutely. And it's very, very tough to come back from this type of a rain delay. Manatee's whole side of the crowd was filled and now is almost completely empty. I'm really surprised to see Sales back in the game. He was really trying to get loose on the sideline. Remember earlier he took a shot on the hip and he was limping, trying to get warm, but he is back in the game full time as they get going again.
So here's Chris Hart calling out the play, and We're going to have a flag down. They will stop action.
Delay.
Looked like a delay of game possibly on that play.
Delay of the ball game. Offense, 5 yards.
Coach Meckley keeping his team in the game. What a past hour and 15 minutes it has been down here in Bradenton. A cell of lightning and rain moved in, and it just kind of hovered right above where we were. It just wasn't moving, and there were doubts, Jeff, to whether they were going to continue this game.
I'm surprised we waited as long as we did and then came back out. We had to wait 30 minutes from the last lightning strike, and we finally did make it back on the football field.
Chris Hart looks like he hasn't lost a stride. Hart inside the 10. No signal yet. There it is. Touchdown. Southeast, Chris Hart.
You know, before that touchdown run, I was just about to say how I thought Manatee could take advantage of the time away to reconnect their, collect their thoughts and get themselves back. But I think the door was just slammed by number 5. What a great individual effort right here around the left side.
That's right. We heard a lot of the radio talents from Manatee down in the press box during the rain delay saying, wow, this can really benefit our ball club, but not when Chris Hart's running like that. Mike Klein on for the extra point. And Klein boots it through, so it's 28-6. Southeast extending their lead to 22 points. And there's the numbers on Chris Hart. Effective throwing the ball and rushing it as well.
Fakes the option to the left. Good job. You see number 6 jump out of the way, and then that's individual effort, breaking out of those tackles. And really, I mean, it's not rocket science. When you don't tackle well, you're going to have a hard time winning the football game. Of course, guys like Sales, guys like Hart make it very tough to bring down on that initial contact. But when you have sloppy tackling, it's going to be hard to win a football game against good players like the Southeast Seminoles.
Coach Meckley has to be pleased with what his quarterback has done. Early on in this game, it looked like that Henry Sales was going to be the runaway Catch 47 player of the week, Jeff, and then in the second and third quarter, it has belonged to that guy, Chris Hart.
Yeah, I mean, co-effort, I could go for that, but Chris Hart is throwing the big touchdown plays. He even had a long touchdown pass called back early in the game. So either way it goes, I'm okay with it, but number 5 really has shown up in the second half.
So Mike Klein will kick it off for Southeast. Austin Jensen back to receive for Manatee. Jensen scored on a touchdown early on. He's had a couple good returns, and he's out to the 30-yard line for the Hurricanes, where they will take over. Their quarterback, Breon Carnes, it has been a learning experience for him tonight. He's had his moments, but yet has not been able to really keep up with the other quarterback on the other side, Chris Hart. We want you to join us next week. We'll be in Tarpon Springs. That is Greektown, Jeff Carlson, where Dunedin and the Falcons visit the Spongers of Tarpon Springs. You can also hear the game live on 620 WDAE, the sports animal, and of course watch our broadcast here on Catch 47 that next Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Carnes out of the eye. Play action, looks to throw, and it's underthrown. Had a guy out there, number 12, Ben Axon, was there, but just threw it a little short. He was well covered.
Just spent a good 45 minutes or so in the press box with one of their offensive coaches for Manatee, talking about the maturation process for Breon Carnes, and he's got the athletic ability. He will get it, but he's got to work a little bit on his mechanics, and right there trying to throw the ball down the field, but also without setting his feet properly to get a good throw on the ball. But you know, like I said, they don't take as good a care of the balls when they get wet here at the high school level, so tough to throw.
Sean Williams, number 2 in the backfield, has done most of the damage tonight. They fake it to him and give it to Eric Williams. Williams had some room to run, but he slips down at the 30 and looks like he may be down and hurt.
He's gonna pop back up here.
Yeah, definitely.
More disappointment than hurt, I think.
Yeah, definitely a wet field, though. As you look around on the sidelines, the puddles on the field have grown after the torrential downpour, and you're right, it looked like Williams there was more disappointed than anything, but definitely a wet field here, and I believe we're going to have a penalty on Southeast, maybe unsportsmanlike. They tack off 15 yards, and it'll be Manatee ball on the 46. So a big break, but you see the puddles there and how it's really affected the playing surface here at Southeast.
Well, I think around the Bay Area, and I am not a Bay News 9 weather forecaster, meteorologist, but we've been waiting for rain to settle in and just stay around for a while, and that's exactly what we got, just not when we wanted it.
A couple years ago, this game was hurricaned out, and that also spoiled our plans on the game of the week tonight. It almost does, but Mother Nature does let up, and we are here to play the third quarter. Final seconds of the third quarter. That will be the last play as Southeast extends their lead to 28-6, and when we come back, the fourth quarter of action on what has been a long night here in Manatee County. 28-6, Southeast leads. We're back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Get your football fix year-round with the Bucks Extra Point, only on Catch 47, Tampa Bay Sports Television. Former Buck Mark Robinson and veteran sportscaster Tom Buring invite current and former players over to talk football.
It's about managing situations.
There's no script. It's just a guy shooting the breeze.
Well, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
So you never know what's going to happen.
Standardized test. It's A, B, or C, and he picks D.
The Bucks Extra Point, your Bucks football fix year-round on Catch 47 and only on Bright House Networks. Brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
Time for our trivia question. Trying to make it out. Peter Warwick was Southeast's great quarterback.
Don't give the answer early. I'll get it here for you in a second. I got it. I know I have it somewhere around here.
We will get that trivia question to you as soon as possible. Edgar Thyler on the catch. He's got it. And he's to the 35-yard line. Excuse me, our trivia question. We have it now. Which future collegiate star was Southeast quarterback for its consecutive state titles in '93 and '94?
The rain kind of gave us fuzzy monitors on the way back in.
Which future collegiate star Southeast quarterback for its consecutive state titles in '93, '94? I'm sure for Southeast fans, that's a no-brainer.
Manatee doing a good job coming back from the disappointment of giving up the long touchdown run, but to put a good drive together here in the fourth quarter.
So they hand to Williams. Williams trying to make up some yardage. He's to the 28. He's got a first down. Actually, he's 5 yards short. Excuse me. It will be second down now for the Manatee Hurricanes after the big catch by Edgar Thyler.
Would have really liked to have seen Williams get the ball even more tonight. He has just been an effective back every time he's touched the ball. I'm not sure he's had any of his touches go for a zero gain or a negative gain. He has really made a lot of positive yards.
So second down and 5. Williams will take it again. Hard running. He's knocked back close to a first down. Southeast, their game plan tonight of spreading the Manatee defense out has worked to perfection. Also, they have been efficient on defense, not shutting down Sean Williams in the Manatee attack, but containing them. Forcing a big turnover in the first half and forcing them to punt the ball on numerous occasions tonight. It's third and about 1. Carnes will hand it off to Williams, and Williams has got another first down. They'll mark it at the 20 after the forward progress. And that's where Manatee will take over. Just amazing the way the atmosphere was here earlier on and then the way it is now. It's almost like you can hear every raindrop on our tent.
A little bit anticlimactic, especially after the great run by Chris Hart. But, you know, I think Joe Canaan knew what he was facing when he came out on this football field, but they do need to play smarter football and make sure that Carnes takes care of the football, and they will do that as they move into their league play.
Carnes takes another hit. The ball is loose. Let's see, they will mark it down. But a nice hit. Recovery that time by Kieran James. Let's look and see if his knee was down here. Yes, I think he was down. James that time forcing it. Also big number 44. Anuit. Melis Anuit with the big hit.
Good job, Drew.
Well, a lot of our rosters that we began the game with are absolutely soaking wet here up top.
That's for sure. So. Tearing in pieces like paper.
Look,
I guess they are paper.
This makeshift tent that our director Ed Bochter and Ken O'Leary constructed, definitely doing the job. Is Thyler out inside the 10-yard line. Edgar Thyler now with a couple of catches on this drive. He was silent throughout the night, but finally starting to heat up.
You know, really, I said it a couple plays ago, but just a great job by Manatee to come back, even though they're down, to come back with a great drive and pick up another first down.
This game's not over yet. A little over 8 minutes to go, 28-6, but Manatee needs points on this drive. Carnes out of the shotgun. Fakes to Williams, and he'll take off. Carnes has got some daylight. He's inside the 5. They'll stop him at the 4-yard line. That time fake, using Carnes and his athleticism in different ways. I like it.
Oh, they're going to do just fine when they hit their regular league play. It's not going to be a problem, I don't think. I just like to watch him run already. He's got a lot of athletic ability. So if they use Williams and him, you know, like I say, one goes left, one goes right, they're going to be an effective offense throughout the season.
They'll mark it at the 6. Carnes under center. Hands to Williams. Here comes Williams. He's going to be in for the touchdown. Big play for Manatee, and I believe they will go for 2 on this, because that makes the score 28-12 after that score, and Manatee needs points here because of that missed extra point.
No doubt. Good work to practice it. It might not be enough time to get this game tonight, but they do need to get Carnes in all the different situations that they will see and probably face as they go on down the rest of the season.
Sean Williams has had a very productive night. Over 100 yards rushing. Making his case to be the Catch 47 player of the week. So here comes the 2-point conversion. Carnes. He's got room on that right side. He'll throw it, and it's good for the score. Edgar Thyler, his 3rd catch of that drive. Good for a touchdown, and Manatee pulls within 2 touchdowns, 28-14. It's not over yet.
You're going to be watching that kind of combination for 4 years. Not necessarily the receiver. The receiver's going to change because Carnes is only a freshman, but they're going to be running these types of option, run, throw for the next 4 years, and it is going to put a lot of wins on the board for Joe Canaan.
Certainly is. Last year, Manatee had the great combination of Thyler and a young man by the name of Bobby Spann, who had so many great returns but also catches for the Manatee Hurricanes. Spann is gone. Thyler is still here. And you can tell throughout the night, Jeff, he's kind of struggled. He hasn't really been able to adjust to his freshman quarterback. But now as the game has gone along, it looks like they're developing some kind of chemistry. That takes a while, obviously.
Yep, no doubt. But they're going to do it. They have a lot of things to look forward to. They're going to run the double option this year, which is going to be great for Carnes, where he can option the ball back, and he's also going to have the front, kind of like what Urban Meyer is doing up in Gainesville, where he'll be able to option back or front, and very, very tough to defend. So as they move forward in the region, they're going to have that as well.
So it's 28-14, 7:38 to go. Manatee will try the onside kick. It's gone 10 yards, and Manatee has possession. Falling on top of it, Davidson Nicholas. They've got it at midfield, and the Hurricanes have new life.
That is about the easiest onside kick pickup I've ever seen. It didn't look like Seminole wanted anything to do with this. Just watch. They don't even move toward the football. There's a great hit right there, but there's not a Seminole guy trying to get it within 3 yards of the ball.
You're right. It looked like no Southeast Seminoles wanted a part of that one, and Nicholas right there to pick it up. That's what this rivalry game is all about. No team out of it until the final buzzer has rung. So from the 50, it's a handoff inside. And that is number 43 on the carry, Nick Rail. 4 yards, it'll be second down.
I like the idea of coming inside with Rail. You know, he gets the 5 yards, but very easily could pop it, especially when you're expecting, because of the time situation, to give it to Williams outside or for Carnes to take it outside. Pop it inside. This one only went for 5, but I expect to see that again down in the drive and maybe pop for a big 15-yard gain, something like that.
Carnes under center from the 45. Gives it to Williams. He's going to be stopped. Nice pursuit on the inside. Big number 88. We haven't called his name a lot tonight, but Will Maxwell, we talked about him in the pregame, right there to make the stop.
Very tough to come out, you know, after the, hour and a half rain delay that we sat through for the Seminoles to come out and really keep the intensity up. So credit Coach Mackley for being able to do that. The offense put the points on the board, but a very tough situation to come out with that lead and still keep the intensity.
So it's a huge down, third down, and about 6 for Carnes and the Manatee offense. They'll fake it. Carnes looking for somebody. Throws it out there, and his receiver just couldn't catch up to it. Ben Axon had a little bit of room, but the ball was thrown short, and he just couldn't make the cut on this wet field.
Yeah, it was tough for Carnes to see him, but he had a 5-yard cushion deep early in that play. If Carnes was able to stop and set his feet, he could have gotten the ball out there, but just really play didn't set up for that, so the ball ends up being short, but really had a chance for a big play.
Now, interesting thing here, Jeff. I mean, it's 4th down on the 45, 46-yard line. Do you go for it if you're Manatee? I mean, 6 minutes to go, down 2 touchdowns.
I certainly do, because just what we're talking about, how many yards can you really gain forward by punting the ball? But 2 possessions, obviously a 2-possession ball game, and I don't think with the way the Seminoles are playing tonight that you're going to get 2 possessions in the next 6 minutes. And what's the point if you lose by 14 points or you lose by 21 points, even if you were to give up a touchdown by not getting the 4th down conversion? Maybe that's what we're talking about right now, but there's really no point. And here comes the offense back on the field, just what we're talking about. There's no real point in punting this ball away.
I think you're right. They did think about it. The answer to our trivia question, who was the quarterback who went on to college for Southeast in 93 and 94? His name, Peter Warwick, the great Florida State Seminole wide receiver. A lot of tradition from this Southeast team, but those teams in the early 90s also a big part of that. But did you know, Jeff, that in the 80s, Coach Meckley led Southeast to the state championship game, and they took on a team out of Pensacola by the name of Escambia and a running back by the name of Emmett Smith.
Emmett Smith, huh?
Yep. In fact, that game is still a Catch 47 classic. It's in our archive system. We have run it on numerous occasions.
It turned out to be a pretty good one as well.
Carnes on 4th down, fakes to Williams, and he'll throw. He's got Thyler still on his feet, down to the 31-yard line. It's a positive play for Manatee and a great call on 4th down.
Great job. Could have possibly gotten the ball deep as well, but he takes the throw that gets him the 1st down, which is what he really needed. Very similar to the 2-point conversion. They did have an outside receiver, but the play-action pass, given the run-pass option, find Thyler again. Great job on Manatee's part.
I like the way they're using Carnes, too, as well. I think as this game is going along, the coaching staff getting more comfortable with him and using him in different ways. That was a safe throw and nicely executed. Carnes looking downfield, throws it up. Little too far for Eric Williams. His wide receiver was out there and just could not separate from the defender.
At least, you know, the good thing on Karn's part was that he put the ball where only the receiver could catch it. And a lot of quarterbacks don't understand that early on when they're young. They'll just try to make it so that it'll be a jump ball, and you really don't want that. Put it over his outside shoulder, good spot, almost a big play for the Hurricanes.
The district lineup for both teams looks like this. Charlotte, Lakewood Ranch, Manatee in there with Port Charlotte and Venice. And for Southeast, it's Lakewood, Osceola, Northeast, Bogosiega, and Bayshore. So Southeast will make a trip up to Pinellas County with those teams, Bogosiega and Northeast, in that district. Manatee will have to deal with Lakewood Ranch. They've improved over the years. Aside from that, though, you look at Charlotte, Lakewood Ranch, Port Charlotte, and Venice. Not a lot of wins there. I mean, that's almost a gimme district for Manatee.
That's what the coaches were talking about, that this is a game that sets them up to play such high competition that when they get into district that they will really be ahead of the game.
Back to throw. He's got Thyler again. Thyler, ooh, took a shot. That time, number 31, Chris Bowden, that time laid the lumber on Edgar Thyler.
Tough, trying to stick the ball into that cover two, and the backside safety comes around and blasts Thyler. Tough catch to make. You see the safety coming right on, and that's the backside safety. You got to get the ball a little bit earlier when he's still in front of the safety that's running, when he's running straight down the field before he makes his cut to the post. Got to get that ball on him so that doesn't happen.
There you see Bowden, too, just a junior, as Carnes will try again. Back to throw. He keeps throwing it. He's got Thyler again for the touchdown. What a play. What a play by Breon Carnes.
Well, what about the catch? That's the same guy that just got laid out on the play before. Comes back and runs a deep post and gets wide open. Great job by Carnes keeping his composure. Deep, straight drop back. Check this out. Play action pass right in the middle of the pocket. Great form, and gets the ball up and over the defender. And give Thyler credit for getting up from the last one and then finishing this off. And now, hey, one score away with 5.5 minutes left in the game.
You are absolutely right, Jeff. I said great play by Carnes, but Thyler, after taking that shot on that last play, to come back and catch the touchdown shows what a player this kid is. Big extra point for Manatee. And it is booted through. So Manatee in this football game with 5:32 to go. Edgar Thyler, what a second half he has had. No catches at halftime, out of nowhere. He's making his case for player of the game.
And you know what? Credit the coaching staff for doing what we set up here for a long time, which is give Carnes an opportunity to be successful, which is not throwing the throwback screen play, which is a tough play to throw for a young guy. Let him roll out, get the run pass option. They completed that big fourth down. And you know what we were talking about in the press box with the coaches and hearing the radio broadcast downstairs, maybe it is working, and like we said, it's very tough to motivate yourself. You're up. They were up 14 points. 20. Oh, was it 20 to 20 or 21? It was 21 to 6 when we left.
28 to 6 after that touchdown.
Right.
From
but
Hart,
I mean, coming back from the lightning,
it was 21-6 at that point.
Just tough to get your mind right, to get back into the intensity level that you need. They're still down 7 points, but hey, one good stop here, and they get the ball with 3.5 minutes left. They're going to go onside kick again. I'm not so sure you need to go onside kick here. I think you might kick the ball deep, let your defense, which has done a good job, maybe they fumble the ball, and you get the ball in good position. You got 5.5 minutes. You don't necessarily need to put Seminole at the 50-yard line. But, of course, that last one was very easy to get, wasn't it?
So Alex Torres will try for the onside kick. No, he fakes it. He'll go downfield with it. And it's fielded by Spade. Spade tries to turn the corner. He's out of bounds at the 35. Oh, man, what a night it has been. Win or lose, though, you got to be happy for Manatee quarterback Breon Carnes, just a freshman. He has grown up here tonight. I think after this game, he's no longer going to be a freshman after this experience.
And, you know, like you just said, it is great because early in this game, he could have tanked it. Could have said, okay, I'm just a freshman. I'm not going to be able to finish this game and really compete at this level right now. We'll see down the road. He's stepped up. He's ready to go for region and district now and play strong all season long.
So let's see if Hart and Southeast try and get some more points. Henry Sale's going to be stuffed by that Southeast D. A whole host of defenders on him that time. The Stars. Number 44, Austin Jensen all over it, along with Robert Harrell, the two best defensive players.
Been in there all night long. We said we would call 44 and Harrell. We said both guys were going to be called a lot, and they have been, especially Jensen. Got that early touchdown running the ball. He's done a very nice job returning kickoffs, and he's had 2 or 3, maybe even 4 very nice defensive plays from the defensive end position.
We'll keep watching the clock now. Under 5 minutes, 4:47 and ticking on second down for the Noles. Hart will try and take off. He's got about 2 yards before the Manatee defense wraps him up. So it'll be 3rd and 8 with 4:32 left to go in the game right now. So let's see if Southeast tries to win this with their offense, or are they content putting the game in their hands of their defense? I would think on this play they're going to try and make the most of it, because offensively is where they've had the advantage all night.
Yeah, and right now Chris Hart had a good punt in the first quarter, and then a very average, if we could be critical, is a very average punt later on. So you don't really want to punt the ball if you don't have to, but you also don't want to run a play that runs the risk of interception either. So we'll see what kind of a play the coaches come up with.
We have a timeout on the field. The Noles want to talk this one over. All they need is 1 first down, and it would make it very difficult for this Manatee team to go the whole course of the field in under a minute. We'll be back with the conclusion of this ball game. When we come back, it's 28-21. Southeast has the lead and the ball.
Get your football fix year-round with the Bucks Extra Point, only on Catch 47, Tampa Bay Sports Television. Former Buck Mark Robinson and veteran sportscaster Tom Buring invite current and former players over to talk football.
It's about managing situations.
There's no script. It's just a guy shooting the breeze.
Well, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
So you never know what's going to happen.
Standardized test. It's A, B, or C, and he picks D.
The Bucks Extra Point, your Bucks football fix year-round on Catch 47 and only on Bright House Networks. Brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh.
So Southeast with a different formation here, trying to catch Manatee off guard. You see the offensive line all split to the left. A fumble on the field. Hart will pick it up, throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. Near disaster that time for Southeast. As Hart lost it, he was under pressure from Austin Jensen, and that time just had to unload it, and he's lucky it wasn't a fumble, and lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Wow, just what we talked about before we went to the break was making sure you don't do something that could turn the ball over. They almost turned the ball over in 2 different ways, by the bad snap and then the bad decision by Chris Hart just to throw it up as he was getting tackled in the backfield. You know, if it happens, give the coaches credit, and if they get the first down, you say, wow, what a great call. But in that situation, not so hot.
So we have another timeout on the field with 3:50 left to go. Manatee will have a chance to tie up this ball game. Coach Meckley is on the field with his team, making sure that everybody knows their responsibilities, and to remind these guys that, hey, we've come this far. We've dominated most of this football game. We got 3:50 left to go. Let's finish this puppy off.
Well, if the Seminoles don't finish this game off, and Manatee comes back and wins this, it seemed like a Muhammad Ali fight where really Southeast was in control of this football game, and then all of a sudden the rain and the lightning came in, and it really did turn in favor of the Manatee Hurricanes.
So Chris Hart back to punt. They spot the ball at the 37-yard line. And they'll let it bounce for Manatee, and it takes a Manatee bounce good field position. They're going to have it at the 37-yard line with 3:40 left to go in this game. That's enough time to even get in some running plays, and if you're Manatee, you've got the size advantage up front. You don't have to really hurry yourself. You got plenty of time. 3:40 to go 60 yards.
The clock will stop after the first downs until they set the ball down and wind the clock, so it can easily be done right now.
Thank you to Tom and Linda Dupree from the Beef O'Brady's here in Manatee. Durfee, Tom and Linda Durfee here. Thank you very much. For providing our Catch 47 crew with the 3-course meal, the vegetables, the wings, the sandwiches, everything before the ball game, keeping our crew nice and fed before this game. Thank you very much to the Beef O'Brady's here in Manatee County as Karn's first pass is knocked away.
Good defense right there by Hudson how do you say that? Presume?
Yes, Presume.
Presume, good job there. I was surprised that he didn't just run Williams on first down, try to get some positive yards.
Karns will roll out. He's got a man wide open. Oh boy, that time looked like Eric Williams was running free of the defense. Instead, he tried to go underneath to Ben Axon, and it was underthrown.
Really thought they did a great job calling plays on the last series. This time you're rolling your freshman quarterback out to his left, and not really a position you want to put any quarterback in, let alone your freshman quarterback. He obviously has the athletic ability to pull it off, but it's just not something that I would want him to be in that situation. 3.5 minutes left in the game, rolling out to his left-hand side, trying to throw the ball down the field.
So it's 3rd and 10. Manatee. On 3rd down, give it to Williams, and he's got room. Williams has the first down. He's up to the 48-yard line, and the Hurricanes stay alive.
You know, just hand it to number 2. Let him take it the distance. Wow. He'll keep doing it. I think it won't take him 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go down the field at this clip. He goes 10, 12 yards a clip. Just let him keep doing it. By the time the clock runs down, you'll be in the end zone, and you'll have a choice to go for 1 and for the tie, or go for 2 in the win.
What a game we have had here on opening night of the regular season. Southeast and Manatee interrupted, yet it has turned out to be a great finish. They'll pitch to Jensen. Jensen powers his way to the 40-yard line for the Hurricanes.
Great little play to get it in Jensen's hands. You know, Williams has had such a great night. Jensen has as well. Jensen runs a 4.4 8.40. And if they get it in his hands again around the corner, he might just outrun everybody to the end zone.
This is a tremendous football player, Austin Jensen. There's Henry Sales, started out having the outstanding night, cooled off though as the game went along. Manatee from the 41, Karns. That time got it out there, but it's dropped by Edgar Thyler. 2:33 left to go in this game now, and it will be 2nd down.
Like that play because they've been running so many bootlegs and rollouts that it's, you know, he's kept the ball, Karns has kept the ball in his hands for a long time. This time just 1, 2, 3, let it go. Thyler just drops the ball.
So Breon Karns from his own, from the Southeast 40. He's under pressure, gets away from it, still under pressure, still on his feet, and back to the line of scrimmage. Lucky that was not pure disaster on that play.
You know, when he reversed field, he had a lot of options. 2 different receivers, 1 deep that made a great move back to the sideline area, and 1 shallow. He decided to keep the ball, which is not a bad decision. He's got enough speed to turn it into a positive play, but they're now in a 3rd and 10 situation. I thought he had an opportunity to make a big play.
So it's 3rd down and still about 10 for Breon Karns and this Manatee offense. Karns gets it out to Thyler. It's caught. Thyler pounded to the 34, It's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down, and Thyler's going to be slow to get up. He took about 3 different shots on that play.
Well, they're down to fourth and about 4 yards, and the last time Thyler got a hit like this, he got up and went for a touchdown on the very next play. But because they're calling a timeout for his injury timeout, he is going to have to sit out the 4th down play.
Well, both teams take a knee as the trainers tend to Edgar Thyler. He's holding his wrist. So you got to wonder, when he went down on that tackle, did he jam it against the ground? Good sign he will get up and walk off, but you're right. He will now have to sit out this play nonetheless. And Thyler has been the main target for Manatee this entire second half.
Well, 4th and 3, you know, right now, I hand it to
the man, Sean Williams.
Number 2 gets it one way or another, even if it's out of shotgun. Just, I probably would put him in the shotgun, give him a little bit more space, let the DB spread out across the field, and let number 2 do his magic. He's got such good feet, good balance, low to the ground, and powerful, that I'd give him his shot for 3 yards.
It's a shame, Jeff. Everybody that left this game tonight, they're missing a heck of a finish. Carnes on 4th and about 3.
This is what they ran about 3 plays ago. The double option
Looks
doesn't
like
get it done.
He wanted to pitch it, but there's nothing doing, and Francisco Marino is there for the takedown. That play looked like he was indecisive from the start.
And he was. And, you know, they ran a similar play a couple plays ago. He gave it up to Jensen the last time. This time he tries to get the inside pitch and just couldn't let it go. I would just give it to Jensen, let his speed take around the outside. Hey, credit the defense of the Seminoles stepping up with 1:51 left.
Francisco Marino, he's had a big night. A fumble recovery, and then on that play, the biggest stop of the night for the Southeast Seminoles. On 4th and 3, he gets to Breon Carnes in the backfield and gives the ball back to his Southeast offense. And now with 1:51, all they got to do is perhaps get a first down, and this ball game's over. Hart faking that time. He'll draw the Manatee defense offsides. The Manatee D a little too hungry right now to get the ball back.
Great job by the senior. Great job. Put yourself in 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10. Now you give yourself a great opportunity to get the first down and polish the game off. But, you know, we came here talking about what a great game it was going to be, and it looked like the Seminoles were going to dominate this football game. But credit Joe Canaan and his Manatee Hurricanes for coming back and making this one of the classics that we have always talked about.
It definitely has been. They have not given up tonight. Both schools showing tremendous pride in this contest. Little dump off. Todd Spade has it. He's had a big night as well across midfield. There is a flag on the play. Let's check the marker. Manatee defense waiting for the call.
Having a conversation on this one.
Let's check it out.
Interference, also lost it down.
Receiver probably blocked downfield before the ball came out there.
They got Spate, obviously the one who had, I guess, too much hands on the defensive back on that play. Rarely do you see that call on the high school level.
Well, especially on such a quick pass play, it's hard for the receiver to start blocking that quickly.
Interesting call. And it pushes Southeast all the way back to their own 30-yard line.
And lost it down. That's a big penalty.
That is a big penalty. So right now, we're looking at 2nd down. 1:30 and ticking. Hart out of the shotgun. And we've got another stoppage of play.
I don't think they should have wound that clock coming off of a penalty against the offense, because the offense would then be able to sit there for 30 seconds and let the clock wind down. I don't believe that should have happened. They may have a resetting of the clock here.
I think you're right. And the Manatee crowd asking for that time to be put back on the clock. Good catch, Jeff. Let's see how much time they put back on the clock. Right now it's at 1:17.
I think it was 1:27 when they would have wound it.
Is Chris Hart hoping to finish this game off?
If they end up winding this clock, Drew, Chris Hart should sit there for 25 seconds and not snap the ball, because they should have a full, amount of time if they wind it. But I don't think they should wind it on that offensive penalty.
Looks like there is some confusion here, and I believe, yes, they are going to put time back on the clock.
1:38.
Trying to communicate now between referee and press box.
Oh, they gave him more than they should have, I think.
Wow, they're going to add 21 seconds to the clock. And there are a lot of Southeast fans voicing their displeasure on our side.
Remember, the clock ran properly through the end of that pass interference or blocking downfield play. But now he winds the clock right now on an offensive penalty. I don't agree with this, because this gives the offense and the team that's in the lead that made the penalty the advantage. They can wait 30 seconds right now and not snap the ball. I don't think that that's correct.
And Manatee, you can see over on their sidelines, hands up in the air saying, what is going on? Should the clock be running right now? Nonetheless, here comes Southeast. Power running to the 50-yard line. Number 8, Trevian Murray. A huge carry for the Seminoles, and that carry could very well ice the game.
Now, this is something I haven't understood very well, or I just don't agree with it very much. Watch when he runs out of bounds. The referee says that he was tackled in bounds, and he keeps the clock running. Watch how he gets hit out of bounds. That is out of bounds completely, and they wound the clock and kept it going. Watch him rewind it now. Here he goes. The referee just wound the clock again as they got the first down. That man is out of bounds. That should be a stopped clock all the way until the ball is brought into play one more time. Now Manatee has to call a timeout. This is not being managed properly by the referees.
Well, with the rain delay and the fact that it is 11:30, I think some people may want to go home,
Yeah, some people might want to go home, but those Manatee Hurricanes came back in this second half and put up a wallop of a football game. I don't usually say wallop. That's really not in my my repertoire, but they did. They came back, and they deserve every opportunity to make their comeback. And that really, as you saw, that player did not lose momentum and was not stopped in bounds, but they now are allowing Seminole to run out the clock without even snapping the ball again, or close to it anyway.
The Southeast Seminoles maybe a bit of an advantage here in these final minutes with the way the clock has been managed. Still, Trevian Murray, one of the best runs of the game for the Noles on that last play, up across to midfield. And right now, 49 seconds left to go in the game. 28-21. Southeast leads by 7. And basically, all they have to do is just run the clock out. They'll keep it on the ground. Murray again. Back to the original line of scrimmage. And they'll stop the clock now at 41 seconds. Manatee will take another timeout.
Is that their second or their third of the half? If that's their last timeout, which we should get an announcement for that, then it's just one more snap of the ball.
I think either way
will be in the books.
I think either way, I think there's no way.
Yeah, it's 2 snaps or 1 snap.
Right.
Either way,
Manatee will get another play on
unless
offense.
they drop the ball.
So the Southeast Seminoles will move on, barring a complete surprising disaster, which doesn't look like it's going to happen here.
Please don't go into the shotgun. Please don't go into the swinging gate where you put all of your offensive linemen over here and snap the ball to your quarterback with no help. Just snap the ball under center and hand it off.
Or even take a knee.
Even
Let's see
take
what
a knee,
Hart
yeah.
does.
There's no reason not to.
Hart, I guess don't tell him to not try and score points. He's down, 2-yard loss on the play. Manatee does have one more timeout. They'll stop it at 35 seconds. And it will be 3rd down coming up for the Southeast Seminoles. Well, Jeff, Southeast is going to go on and win this game 28-21 next week. Dunedin and Tarpon Springs. Always a fun game in Pinellas County. Another rivalry game.
Hopefully so, and it's getting up towards me. I've moved up to Pasco County. I'm over there in Land O'Lakes, so a short drive for me, and get to know some of those northern Pinellas County teams. That should be a lot of fun.
Great coaches on either side. For Dunedin, Mark Everett. He has been outstanding as the Falcons head coach. For Tarpon Springs, George Kotis takes over the program, and Kotis in his first year as coach, guess what, Jeff? He is Greek, coaching Tarpon Springs. It's the first time in over 20 years they've had a Greek head
I thought
coach.
you had to do that.
Absolutely not. In fact, that has not been the case for over the past 20 years. So you know that the Tarpon Springs community is buzzing with George Kotis now taking over the Spongers program. We'll talk a lot more about that next week. Hart, I don't know why he's taking the pounding. All he would have to do is just take a knee, but never say die for number 5. And that should be the last play of the ball game. A standing ovation for both of these teams. They played hard, and they played through an over an hour rain delay. Southeast will walk away from this regular season opener winners 28-21. Paul Meckley will run out onto the field and shake hands with Joe Canan. Southeast now takes the advantage in this all-time series, 14-11. And the Noles in the past recent years have dominated, as Jeff said, since the year 2000. They've continued to exert their dominance in this series.
Good football game. Southeast probably should have won the game on their experience, but I credit the Manatee Hurricanes for putting up another good show, and that's what this type of a rivalry is all about.
28-21, Southeast wins. When we come back, we will award our Catch 47 Player of the Week. Don't go away.
Love sports? Then Catch 47. Football. Catch 47. Baseball. Catch 47. Basketball. Catch 47. Soccer. Catch 47. Softball. Catch 47. Fishing. Catch 47. If it's your sport, if it's your game, then it's Catch 47. Tampa Bay Sports Television. Only on White House Network.
Sure, my neighbors Gene and Louise, they may be superheroes with superpowers, but that doesn't make them so super at saving energy and money.
Honey?
I may not be able to harness the power of the elements, but I save significant cash and help the environment with appliances, electronics, and windows featuring the Energy Star label. So discover your own energy-saving superpowers. Go to ase.org/consumers.
Mom, Dad's making fun of you again.
Taking the time to tell a great story.
Go off to the Marine Corps, get some discipline, and fight for my country.
Local athletes.
I really want to make the Olympics. It'd be great to make the Olympics.
Sports journalism you can count on.
Put everything together and you realize that your dad was abusing your mom.
Anchored by the most trusted man in Tampa Bay sports television. Bay Sports with Dick Griffin will bring you sports figures and their incredible stories on and off the field.
Join me Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. here on Catch 47, Tampa Bay's sports television.
Today, 36 million Americans live in poverty, but one by one, people are helping themselves and each other to change the picture of poverty to one of hope. For easy ways you can help, visit povertyusa.org.
You're watching Catch 47, Tampa Bay sports television, only on White House Networks.
Back at Southeast, where the Seminoles complete a 28-21 opening week win against the Manatee Hurricanes. What a game it was. Southeast dominated most of it, but then Mother Nature takes over. The rain comes in, and after the game started, it was kind of anticlimactic, and Manatee just would not give up.
Oh, they just came through, and that's what these types of games mean to each other. When we're sitting in the press box for an hour and a half, I'm like, let's just go home. And they're like, this game means a lot to a lot of people, and obviously Manatee proved that, and it turned out to be a great game. A lot of big plays on both sides, so a lot to be happy about.
Paul Meckley's Southeast team now leads the all-time series 14-11. We're going to ask the coach now to join us. Coach, why don't you just stand in between us right here. The rain hits, the lightning hits. Did you think that this game would continue, and did you want it to continue tonight?
When we were in there talking about it, from our standpoint, we were ahead in the ball game and had just completed a big play, and you kind of go, it's a little bit like a jamboree for us, or a kickoff classic again, because it doesn't have a bearing on our district things, but you want to get them in, and so momentarily you kind of thought about, well, we could go home, but from their side, they got a freshman quarterback. They wanted to have him play. They wanted to have him score a touchdown, throw a touchdown pass, do that stuff, and once we came out and did that and scored and went up 28-7, I'm pretty sure that a group of ours continued to put their jerseys in the dryer like they had been, during the halftime there and or during the rain delay, and we just didn't have the intensity defensively. And when you're up that many, you kind of think, well, we can just play soft, and we probably did.
Coach, your biggest point coming into the game, you said, was let's stay healthy. It looked like you maybe did that, but Henry Sales might have come up with a hip pointer or something like that.
Right. He got banged up on the hip, and we'll just have to wait and see. It's one of those basic football injuries that you don't have. It's not severe, but they last so long sometimes, and we'll have to wait and see on him because he didn't get a chance to play. We put him back in there after the rain delay, and Chris said he can't go, and he didn't want to pitch the ball to him, and so we just kept him out of the game, and that kind of changes, our factors.
Coach, thank you very much. Good luck next week. It's great having you on the Game of the Week. 2 years ago, a hurricane stopped it. We finally got it in this time.
Well, it's been a long struggle getting one on TV at Catch 47, so we're very happy to do that.
Okay, Coach Paul Meckley, thank you very much. And let's bring in here the Catch 47 player of the game, Chris Hart. Welcome to the post game here. Great game. Passing it, running it. First it was Sales taking the pressure off you, and then when he went out, you kind of put the team on your back.
Yeah, I had to do it because senior leader, as the coach taught me, Coach Mack taught me, he said you got to take leadership to this team. So that's what I did.
Was that the biggest thing in the offseason coming into your senior year? You're expecting big things. What was the biggest thing that you wanted to work on so that this year would be the one that you dreamed of?
Biggest thing, I wanted to get my timing down, how to throw the ball, my velocity on the ball and stuff, and work on my quickness and stuff, my speed, my quicker reads, and what type of defense I need to pick off.
Well, Chris, what are your final goals for your senior year?
Play hard, take my team to the playoffs, championship.
Well, we were very impressed tonight, and we want to present you with this. Our Catch 47 Tampa Bay Sports Television football helmet. Congratulations for being the Catch 47 player of the game.
Thank you. I like that.
All right, he's Chris Hart. Hey, man, great game, big guy. Nicely done, and a class kid as well. What a game it was tonight. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, a lot of them having to do with number 5. And in the first quarter, he got it going with the big touchdown pass, reading the defense very well.
Oh, what a great athletic play. Shows his big arm. What a great senior. Rolls to his left. There was other guys open on the left. He goes all the way backside on the post. It was wonderful. Then there's the fake option, and this one takes all the way to the house. This is what really we thought iced the game at 28-7 before Manatee made the big comeback.
That was after the rain delay and really turned out to be the winning touchdown, 28-6, the score at that point. But Sean Williams and Manatee did not give up. They score right there. They get the 2-point conversion, and here comes Breon Carnes again. This the best play of the game, I thought, to Edgar Thyler.
And remember, we said Edgar Thyler just had gotten smashed on the play before, comes back with that touchdown, and they make it a 7-point ball game.
But Southeast on defense kept up the pressure. That was a huge play on 4th down, and Southeast pulls this game off 28-21. The rushing in favor of Manatee and Sean Williams. Passing, though, our player of the game had a big part in that. Chris Hart, 190 yards through the air. Total yards, not much of an advantage, but Southeast in control there. Penalty, Southeast 9 for 85 yards. Jeff, final thoughts?
Well, just that they could have really hurt themselves. The Seminoles could have really hurt themselves with those penalties. You'd like to have that preseason classic to get rid of that kind of stuff. They still have work to do there, but Seminole and Manatee, as they go into the region, very, very tough. They're both going to have great seasons.
It was a long night, but a very entertaining night as the Southeast Seminoles defeat the Manatee Hurricanes by a final score of 28-21. Join us next week. We'll be in Tarpon Springs for the Dunedin Falcons taking on the Spongers. For all of our Catch 47 crew and Jeff Carlson, I'm Drew Felios. We'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.